So how do you actually get rich quick online in 2025? Well, this is an entire 3 hour long zero BS video that's going to explain to you exactly how to do that. As long as you're 18 and over, you can implement exactly the practical steps that we're going to be going over in today's video. And this is not about SMA, crypto, trading, dropshipping, anything of that nature. This is something brand new that you probably might not even ever heard of before. It's an opportunity that's been able to help me retire my parents, been able to travel, buy some cool cars and watches, but more importantly, help the people that I love the most. I even have a charity now in Latvia where I'm from, and blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna explain all of that, my story, who I am, what we do. I'll also bring in one of my students who I've helped do the exact same business model that I'm currently doing. And he went from zero to $1 million a month. I know that sounds insane, but you're gonna see all the results. He'll share his screen live, we'll click around, and he'll be able to tell you guys the feedback as well. So without any further ado, make sure you make this into full screen, have zero distractions, put your phone away, get your notepad out, and pay close attention to the entire 3 hours. If you guys stay with me for the next 2 days, I'll make a promise for every single one of you guys that these coming days will be life-changing for all of you in 2025. The year has just started. Guys, the first month is already over. Like, it's absolutely insane. But I want to make sure that the next 11 months are genuinely life-changing for the better for every single one of you, if you stay with me for today and the next 2 days. As I'll be revealing step by step exactly how I've gone from struggling, and what do I mean by struggling? Again, for all of you guys who are brand new, just really, really quickly to paint the picture here, this is how I grew up. You know, I was living in a council estate in the UK. To be very specific, there's a little place called Sudbury in Suffolk. That's where I grew up. I was working a bunch of different 9-to-5s. I'd done everything from a warehouse to a kitchen. Like, I was washing dishes in the kitchen. I was a barman. I was a door-to-door salesman. I tried everything. And that was all just to make enough money to pay the bills and to help support my single mother. And because we were in such a position, just to give you a bit of context and paint the picture here, for a lot of you guys who are from the UK, you guys will know about the reduced aisle in Tesco's. Like, that's where I bought my food. Like, that's the only place where we could buy our food, because we had to try and save every single penny just to be able to pay the bills. From that to where I am right now, right? And successful, what do I mean by successful? Everybody has a different, definition of it. But just to give you guys a bit of context, for me, I'm now able to live in a Dubai mansion. I'm literally moving into this place in about 2 weeks. You guys will see it on my Instagram. Like, it's literally a dream place. I bought 2 supercars cash. I bought a Rolls-Royce Ghost and a Lamborghini Huracan. I've also been able to retire my mother, but not only that, buy her a dream home in the UK, like, all paid for. And also, like, buy all the cool things that I've always wanted, like some watches, an RM, a Patek, like the Lamborghini, but also I have money left over to be able to support charities. Like, I never even thought when I was starting this that I would have enough money to not only buy these crazy things for myself and look after my initial family and my cousins, etc., but also to then be and not have enough money to actually give away to charity as well. And I have a charity back home in Latvia, which is a little country that I'm from. I'll tell you guys in just a second what that is. And we're able to, that charity helps children in need, whether that is mental or physical. And I think it's beautiful. Like, these families, they don't know who I am. I don't know them. But to me, it's like, all right, cool, I can buy an Apple Watch. But I think it goes way further to actually donate to charity. But look, it's not just me that with this business model that I'm about to share with you guys, it's not just me that's been able to find a success. Here's Noah, for example, one of my students. He learned directly from me with no prior experience in the business that I'm about to share with you guys. And he was able to sign his first client and make $5,000 in his first month. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I was working in like the kitchen and the warehouse, etc., in the warehouse, I was an apprentice, and I was making about $1,000 a month, which was about £800 a month. Noah made basically 5 times that. Here's Robson, another student of ours. He's made $15,000 a month with this brand new business model. He's from the UK, moved to Dubai, learned directly from me and my team to exactly how to start the business, how to get his first client, and is able to now make $15,000. Here's Enzo, another guy, right? Been able to quit his job within his first month. Enzo started with no prior experience. However, Enzo was kind of in 2 minds whether he was going to be able to pull this off. However, he put all his trust into our coaching, and he simply listened to what we asked him to do, implemented exactly step by step, and he was able to quit his job in his first month. Like, I know for a lot of you guys, that's your main goal right now. Matter of fact, I'd love to hear from you guys as well. Like, what is your your main goal right now? Is it to just quit your 9 to 5 and make enough money? Is it to buy that car, a watch? Like, what really is it? You know what I mean? Enzo now makes well over $10,000 and is able to live life on his own terms and achieve whatever he's wanted in life. And then we have Jack. Now, Jack, you might just be able to hear from him live on the third day. So yeah, I think you guys will be able to hear from him live on the third day. But again, Jack started with nothing, no experience, etc. And within 90 days was able to make $20,000 fucking dollars, $20K. It's just insane, right? In 90 days. But you know what's funny? Jack wasn't satisfied. Jack simply stayed consistent and wanted to make more. He kept asking me loads of questions, learning and learning. But more importantly, he put in the hard work himself. And I mean, now fast forward nearly 2 years, granted, bear in mind, that's 2 years. But now Jack is making over $1 million a month in revenue with his agency. And again, I know this might be like, whoa, what? $1 million a month? So on the third day, when you guys come back on Wednesday, you'll be able to see him in real life on the live stream, and you guys will be able to ask him questions and hear it from himself. And the craziest part is that most of you have never even heard of this business model. It's not SMMA, it's not e-commerce, it's not trading, and it's not crypto. Today, I'll be revealing exactly what the business model is and just why right now it's the best chance for you to make it out. And when I say make it out, I just mean whatever the situation you are in right now. I'm seeing the chat. A lot of you guys are, you just want to replace your 9 to 5. A lot of you guys want to retire your parents, right? Whatever the situation is right now, I truly, from the bottom of my fucking heart, I truly believe that this is the best vehicle to help you get there. And I'll explain to you guys all the different other options you have, and I'm comparing them, but I truly believe that this is by far the best one. Because once you have watched all 3 live episodes, you will know how to implement it yourself and make your first $7,000 in 30 days. That's what I'm saying. Just watch the 3 live streams that me and my team have been preparing for fucking 2 months. And after that, you know exactly how to do that. And I'm going to give to you as much value as possible in these 3 days. But for those of you who will want more, you guys will want to make more than 7K. You guys will want more answers for your questions, right? You guys will need more support and coaching. At the end of the third day, I will give you guys an insane offer at the end. And again, I just want to be always completely transparent. I hate it when these guys online are like, oh yeah, but in reality, they're just trying to flog you some shit. I'm just going to be completely transparent. At the end of the third day, I will make you an insane offer. And just be transparent. But also, by the way, if you also want to win, I'm sure some of you guys have probably seen this, right? This competition is every single one of you guys will be able to enter, right? So you guys can win either an iPhone, a MacBook, or an iPad. You guys will also be able to win a ticket to come visit me in Dubai with one of your friends. I'll fly you guys out. And also 10K in cash, $10,000 in cash. And if you want to win that, all you have to do is watch all of these 3 episodes. And after that, you'll get an email with a questionnaire that you need to fill out, which will basically ask you very, very simple questions to make sure that you've actually paid attention to all 3 lessons. Because based on what I teach you in today, tomorrow, and the day after, you need to take notes and actually listen. And by the way, like, that's in your best interest. We're doing all these fun games and prizes because we're just trying to make sure that you're genuinely paying attention, because this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Okay. So if you want to be in for a chance to win these prizes, from right now, I need you guys to put your phone on airplane mode, put it away, turn it upside down, put it away, airplane mode. You don't get distracted, and you can pay attention for the next hour, because what I'm about to share with you guys is absolutely insane. And if you stay till the end of the 3rd episode, I'll also reveal a secret method that has made me millions with this entire business model. So if you guys have been seeing a wave of these young men living this luxurious lifestyle online, like on Instagram, unfortunately, I'm probably going to fall into this bracket, like these guys who, they don't really talk about what they do, but they're like 18, 19, 20 to maybe 25, and they're buying all these cars, living this crazy lifestyle, traveling, watches, girls, bottle shows, and it's leaving you clueless on what do they even actually do, or how you could achieve similar results. Or maybe you've tried a bunch of these different things. Maybe some of them are like, oh, I do SMA, and I do e-commerce, and I do trading, I do crypto. And you think, okay, well, if this guy's living this life, like, let me just try it. And maybe some of you guys have tried like SMA or these other different business models, etc., right? But you've never really found success with any of it. Well, then for the next 3 days, I will be unveiling the curtain on exactly what it is and how it works. Okay? And exactly how you can do the same. So if you've already been interested in this for some time, if you wanted to improve your lifestyle, if you wanted to achieve these different things, and more importantly, you are 18 and over, then make sure you pay attention for these next 3 lives. And I'm not going to be teaching you some outdated, saturated ways to make a little bit of money online, like finding some cheap product from China and trying to sell it overseas to build an e-commerce store, or trying to slave away doing hundreds of cold calls to sign some chiropractor for your SMA agency, which is saturated and it's practically impossible to get a client these days. What I'm about to show you is the equivalent of finding Bitcoin when it was just $4, right? Like, this is nothing to do with crypto, by the way, but just I'm giving you guys the analogy, right? You know how right now it's like what, $100,000, $90,000 per Bitcoin? Imagine finding it like 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago when it was only $4 per Bitcoin, and you put all your efforts and all your focus into it. And where would you be right now? Like, this business model that I'm about to share with you guys is the equivalent of that. It's an absolute gold mine. And I truly mean that, because to go from this, which was living in a council estate, barely have enough money to pay my bills, support my mother, like buying reduced food, which is basically expiring the next day, my stomach fucking hurts every single day, to this, which is genuinely just one of those luxury lifestyles, which is so cringe. But guys, like, I fucking mean it. This is insane. In order for me to do that, that's been a profound change. And to achieve this in a short amount of years, it's insane. So to make this even crazier, is thanks to all this, like the business model itself, right? It's not because I'm some sort of a unicorn or the next Elon Musk. Like, this simply is because of the business model that I'm about to share with you guys. And what I mean by that is I'm nothing special. I have never had a loan. I've never had an investor. Like, I don't even know what the fuck that meant. I never had an older brother or a father figure to teach me, okay, this is what you should do in business. I never knew how to do any of this stuff. I failed in school. I got the worst grades. I never went to university, by the way. I dropped out of college. This is all facts. I'm an immigrant to the UK, and I couldn't even speak English when I moved. Because truly, what I mean is, if I can do it, anybody can. And it's one of those like soppy things, and it's like corny, but let me just explain what I mean by that, right? So again, for any of you guys who are brand new to me, this Marcus Russell guy, let me just explain my story really, really quickly. I'm just a guy who made it out of a small Eastern European country called Latvia. Yes, by the way, just to give you a context, it's right here. Most people probably don't know where that is, okay? And this is the house. Like, this is literally the exact house that I grew up in. And this is the outside of it. Like, yep, this is how it was. It's like a little bungalow in the middle of Latvia. This is my kitchen. Well, it was my kitchen. Of course, I don't live there anymore. Again, just to paint you the picture and just to give you the context here, we didn't even have electricity for most of my life. Like, when I was living in Latvia, we had candles, and in order to make food, we had to put wood in here. I'm not fucking shitting you. That is how I grew up. So the point I'm trying to make here is, if I can do it, why the fuck can't you? And that's how I grew up. I immigrated to the UK when I was 10 years old, and I couldn't speak any English. Of course, I can now, but when I immigrated, the only thing that I could say is yes, no, and hello. That's the only English that I knew. So in school, when I was 10 years old, instead of doing PE and science, instead of those 2 lessons, I would do extra English lessons. And I learned language pretty quickly, because as a kid, you can learn it pretty quick. This is me when I think I was like 11 years old here. And this is the like little house that we grew up in. This is my mom's treadmill, by the way. Yeah, like, this is the setup that we grew up in. And this is the house. And for some of you guys, maybe like, oh, well, that's pretty nice. This is quite a big house. No, my friend. That's the house. That's where we grew up in. It was a 2-bedroom mid-terrace council estate, and there was about 6 of us there. I grew up in a council estate with no opportunities and zero idea on what I wanted to do or become when I was older. And so I tried, of course, to make money in a normal 9-to-5. I worked in a warehouse, in a kitchen appliance. There's a business in the UK called Howden's. Shout out them, I guess. That was my apprenticeship. I was just a kitchen appliance shop. I was just taking a door, lowering it here, taking this, lowering it here. I tried to do door-to-door sales. I was the most nervous kid you will ever imagine. I was just playing video games up until the age of 18, right? So I was the most shy kid ever, but I was like, fuck it. If this is how I can make money, sure. I just went and knocking on doors. Worked for a charity called RSPCA. I was an estate agent, and I thought, yeah, all right, I'm going to wear a suit. This is what all the rich people do. I made less money in that than I did in my door-to-door, which is quite funny. And it was unfortunately at this point in my life when I was at my lowest with no money, no future, no goals, and zero idea on what the fuck I wanted to do, right? And of course, I was also scrolling on Instagram and I was just seeing guys in here, guys doing this, this guy bought a car. And I was just thinking like, bro, what? Like, I'm over here, like, doing fuck all. I'm slaving away. I can barely afford to even go out with my mates. And these guys are like, how? And unfortunately, it was at this point when my father, and I'm not trying to, fucking dumb the energy here, but like, look, this is just my story. And unfortunately, it was at this point when my father, who was still in Latvia, he unfortunately passed away unexpectedly in a car accident. Look, things happen. It's life. I've got over it. It's unfortunate, very fucking unfortunate. I had like an amazing relationship with him, but this was the moment when, this was the moment when like everything turned. Like, I'm just telling you guys my story just from my heart, right? Like, this was the moment where I was like, right, my mom is struggling. I can barely afford to go out with my mates, let alone like buy something that I wanted, like a luxury item or something. I could barely afford food. Me working this 9 to 5, I can't fucking do it. I can't. Like, I can't do it. This is no way. This is life, is what it's meant to be. No way. There has to be something else out there. And at this point, this is when it just left me and my mother in the UK trying to figure things out. I went online and started to learn about different things, like how to make money online. I'm sure maybe some of you guys have probably had a similar thing. Like, have you guys gone online, how to make money online, and you see like all these different guys? Like, that was me, right? And I tried everything, like online, you see this and this and this and this, and everyone's talking about do this business model, etc. And I tried SMMA, a social media marketing agency. I tried a bit of e-commerce with Etsy and trying to sell some little products. I tried content creation. I tried filming videos for my local businesses. Like, I tried photography, etc. But they simply still all left me broke. Like, this is, like minus. And I just remember how shit it felt not being able to go out with my friends, and just thinking in the back of my head, like when my mates were like, oh, do you want to come out for a drink this weekend? Or do you want to go to the cinema? Or do you want to go bowling, or etc.? It wasn't a case of, do I want to? It was a case of me opening up my bank account and starting to fucking calculate, like, okay, well, if I go on a night out, the taxi is going to be like £10. Each drink is like £7. I get 2 of those, that's 14, that's £27 I've already spent. Then after the night out, I'm probably going to get like the takeaway, that's another £10. Like, that's the fucking place where I was at, just to paint a fucking picture. All right. Like, it wasn't a case of do I want to or not. It was a case of, can I afford to? And bro, like, that had this fire in my belly. And if you're watching this like right now live, if you can relate to this burning desire, and I'm only speaking to those few, that right now there's about 500 of you guys live right now. Out of those 500, I'm only speaking to those certain that have a fire deep inside you right now. That is like, yo, like, I fucking resonate with that. Like, I know I'm destined for more. There is no fucking way I'm meant to be on this planet to wake up at 5 a.m, get dressed, half asleep, drive to an office, speak to somebody that I don't want to, ask for a holiday, and slave my ass off just to what? Barely make enough money to be able to pay off your bills. Come on, bro. Like, I knew that's not what life is about. And it was until I found an untapped industry with no competition that was simple and straightforward. I saw clear patterns for huge growth and massive opportunity. And of course, it was to do with OnlyFans, right? But of course, no, like, I'm not going to tell you to get on OnlyFans. No, obviously not. But like, this was back in 2020. And back then, I'm sure every single one of you guys were like, you can't go a day without seeing the word OnlyFans online, whether it's Instagram, social media, a news article, this celebrity doing, etc. It's everywhere. Everyone's talking about this thing called OnlyFans. And I was like, what the fuck is it? Like, what is it? And I clearly saw, like, I started doing some research and I started comparing, okay, e-commerce and OnlyFans. OnlyFans is being searched way more. OnlyFans and SMA is being searched way more. And like, it's trending, it's going viral, everyone's talking about it. But of course, what I don't mean is you to sign up to OnlyFans yourself. Obviously not. No. There's a way to still make millions online in this industry without ever having to get in front of the camera, ever. Staying completely anonymous whilst making more money than you could ever imagine. Matter of fact, 98% of agency owners never show their face ever online. No one even knows what they're doing, and yet they're making thousands online. So now, do you remember when I went back to the beginning of this live stream and I was talking about how there's these guys online who are living this crazy lifestyle. They're always traveling, always these luxury cars, but they don't actually show what they do. Well, let me let you in on a little secret. And that is by managing other creators who are already on OnlyFans. Look, everybody has different opinions on this business model, and I get it. I completely get it. In my opinion, I think people are doing a disservice to themselves by not trying to do whatever it takes to make money online. I think there are so many opinions, etc., but in my opinion, is it really that bad? Like, and I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what this is, because so many people have the wrong misunderstandings of exactly what is involved in this. And really and truly, all you're doing is you're helping OnlyFans creators make more money, save them time. You're making them more money. You're able to then help yourself. You're able to then help your family and use that money for good. And from my own experience, I can tell you, once you're up and running and are making thousands a month, nobody cares that it's anything to do with OF. First of all, nobody even needs to find out. But even if you then, start talking to people about what you do, etc., it actually opens up more doors than you can even imagine. Because look, this is from my personal experience. I've done the whole SMA, e-commerce, videography, etc. I messed about with those for nearly 2 years. So what I'm teaching you guys here is to save 2 years of fucking about trying to do this, trying to do that. Why don't you just do something that works straight away? And back when I tried all these different business models, not once did I ever hear somebody, and when I said like, oh, I do SMA or I do this, not once did I ever hear somebody say, oh, because you do that, let me invite you to this thing and I'd love to connect with you, etc. Right? Not once, because like, with all due respect, you're doing a marketing, like you're building websites, you're selling iPhone cases on Etsy, like nobody really cares, respectfully, right? But when you're running a business like this, where you're managing influencers, you're managing OnlyFans models, you're managing literally celebrities all around the world. Do you understand the influence and the power you actually have? Brand deals, people that have e-commerce stores, people that do parties, people that travel the world, they will want to invite you, they will want to connect with you, and it opens up more doors than you can ever even imagine. Because really, by the way, alternatively, here are your options. If for some of you guys are like, oh, I don't know, OnlyFans, I don't know, this is a very taboo thing. And I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what it actually is, because a lot of you guys think, oh, yeah, that's some shady stuff. I think people have it completely wrong. Like if you watching this, if you haven't actually listened to me or anybody explain what the business model actually is and how it actually works, let me just explain. Because alternatively, here are your options, by the way. SMA. Number one, way too saturated. Everybody and their fucking grandmother has tried or is actively trying to do SMA, which means everybody is reaching out to the same clients as you're going to be trying to reach out to. So then you have to be very good and sharp on the phone to stand out. You've got to be very charismatic. You've got to be great on the phone. You've got to have great sales skills. And then you've got to compete on price, because if this guy's already reached out to them, then you've got to compete. I'll do it cheaper. And then this guy's reaching out to the same client and he'll do it cheaper than you. And then all of a sudden you're not making any money, right? Number two, it requires sales and marketing experience to succeed. If you've never done sales or marketing, well, good luck, right? You're competing with people who have been doing it for 4 or 5 years. And how are you meant to compete? Number three, it's not scalable. In order to get more clients on board and actually service them, you need to hire more people, which then bites into your profit margins, and it just ends up making you not much money. E-commerce, right, is another business model. You need money up front, right? Like you need to buy the stock. Well, first of all, you need to find the stock. You need to go online, find some product from China. You have to split test it, figure out what could work, what couldn't. You have to find the trend, and then you have to buy the stock, order it to the UK or wherever you are, and then try and ship it so you don't have to wait 4 weeks for your clients to receive the product. Alternatively, you can do drop shipping, which is the same as e-commerce, but instead of you buying the stock, you simply just ship it from China straight away. But I mean, what, you're going to fucking ship iPhone cases, and in China, it's $3 and you're going to sell it for what, $5, and you're making $2 profit? It's not even profit, because then you've got to pay for shipping, and then the client has to wait 4 weeks to receive that phone case. Like, come on, it's 2025. It's just everyone's tried it. It doesn't work anymore. Barely any profit. Like I said, if you're selling a phone case and you're making $2 on top of it, like, come on, boys. Like, what are we going to do with $2? You know what I mean? It's too risky, because what if your stock doesn't sell? Like, or what if there's a new trend, right? What if it doesn't work anymore? Now you've got to find a new trend. It just doesn't work. Trading, I mean, look, I'm not going to waste any of your time or my time. It's gambling. Nobody, and I'm telling you now, nobody, and with all due respect, I have a lot of friends in this industry, nobody fucking has a clue if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down. If any of you guys have watched Wolf of Wall Street, if you haven't, that'll be your homework. It's a woozy, it's a wazi. Nobody fucking knows. Please don't do it. Please don't waste your time. Please don't waste your money, because yes, even if you do it, you might get a little win every now and then. You might get another one. And then you think, oh, maybe I've got it. Maybe I've got it. I'm going to put more money in. And then you lose it all, including the initial 1,000 or 2,000 that you put in. I know countless. I know hundreds of people that have done that. So please don't waste your time on that. Whereas OFM, the business that I'm about to teach you guys, OnlyFans management, number one, no one's doing it. Think about it. Over the 500 people that are on this live stream right now, besides me, how many of you guys know somebody else who's running an OFM? Like, actually, genuinely, I'm going to see the chat right now. So put a 1 in the chat if you don't know anybody who's running an OnlyFans management agency. Like, besides me, right? Maybe like there's somebody on YouTube that you maybe have seen. But most of you guys have never even heard of the business model. Not one person yet. Patrick said not one person. One. Ethan, Lawrence, Eric, Mika, Bruno. See what I mean? Like, not many people are doing this. And I'll explain to you guys the numbers in just a second, just to paint the picture of how insane of an opportunity this is. It's insane. Number 2, it's beginner friendly. Like, at the end of the day, you guys will be dealing with girls who are your age, 18 to 25, girls who you maybe even went to university with, maybe you went to college with, etc. Right? Meaning they're not like 50-year-old, like experienced senior business owners who'll be asking you very difficult questions like, so what's the ROI within the first month? And what kind of returns can we expect? And not asking you loads of these difficult questions. You're going to be talking to girls who are probably the same age as you. You can have a bit of banter, maybe even send them memes, etc. Like, genuinely, it's just chill. You're talking, your clients are literally just going to be your friends. You know what I mean? Next one, there's no sales experience needed. There is no real sales. Like, I'll explain to you guys on episode 2 on exactly how to get your first client. And there you're going to see exactly like, oh, is that it? Like, what the fuck? That's really it? There really isn't much like sales experience. You don't have to pick up the phone and dial 100 leads every day like all these other business models, right? Next one, it's very profitable and scalable. Like, I'm going to teach you guys exactly how much of a percentage you'll be taking. I'll break down the numbers as well, but it's very profitable and scalable. And this is why not only me, but most of my students are making thousands within their first month with this new business model. For example, Finn, right here, Finn, in November, he made just shy of 100,000 smackaroonies. $100,000. Matter of fact, he actually did, because I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, you guys should be able to. I know it's quite small, but this is November the 23rd when he made the screenshot. All right. And as you can see here, he had a whole week left, 7 days, and he was already at $97,000. So for that month, he ended up at $100,000 right here this month. With no experience in business, no marketing, no sales, starting to completely from zero. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, but I've never done like online businesses before and I don't have any experience, I don't know. I'm showing you guys results with guys who have no experience, not even business experience, no marketing, no sales, etc. Tony, for example, made his first $1.5 thousand in his first day from any part of the world, from all different walks of life. We have guys who are mechanics. We have guys who are students. We have guys who work in a restaurant. We have guys who have their own business in e-commerce, trading, etc. And they quit that because they realize how lucrative and simple this business model is. Here's another agency, $43,000 in 1 month, 43. And again, this is definitely way too small. You guys won't be able to see it, but this is halfway through the month. As you guys can see, the graph, this is an entire month right here, and this is just the halfway. So $43,000 halfway through the month, roughly, he probably ended up about $90,000 for the month, right? With only a couple of hours of work a day. Here's Caesar. He made his first $1,000 in a day without having to take out a loan or investments. Here's another student. In his first 30 days, made $13.6 thousand without ever having to show your face and staying completely anonymous. Literally, laying on your bed, probably on your laptop or on your phone, just working away, following what we teach you, and just follow along for the next 3 days. All right. Another student making over $1,000 in his first day. Like, bro, I barely made that in a month, and in an entire month at my 9 to 5. We have guys doing that in a day, in 24 hours. Here's Mo, $29,800 in a month. Here's another student, $51,100 in a month. And let me explain to you how the business of OFM works so you can understand it very clearly. Guys, hopefully put a fire emoji and a 1 in the chat. I need you guys to spam it. I'm going to take a little drink, but I need you guys to, I want to see if you guys are just as excited as I am. So spam the chat with fire emojis if you guys are excited, because I'm about to share with you exactly how the business model works. Yo, this is some serious stuff. Yeah, I'm reading the comments. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, guys. So this is how OFM works, so you can understand it very clearly. Now, OnlyFans is kind of like an exclusive Instagram page where the creator can charge her fans money to see exclusive content. So imagine Instagram, right? The layout, the way the interface works, there's content, there's videos, there's photos, there's messaging, etc. Think of it like Instagram, but in order for the guy and the fan to see it, he has to then subscribe. And then once he's subscribed, he's then open to all of the content and he's able to then see it on her private platform, which is OnlyFans. Okay, that's a very easy like visualization. To break it down from like a bird's eye view, think of it like this, right? So right here, this is the fan. So yeah, let's just say this is the fan. This is basically how it works, right? Fan will then subscribe to the OnlyFans of the model. And it's a monthly rebilling, by the way, right? So that's another thing about this business model. Unlike something like, I don't know, SMA or trading, like trading, if you get one win, you then have to hope for the next win tomorrow or in the same day, right? Whereas this, you get one win, aka you sign a client, and that client will stay with you for months, if not years. And it's a rebilling every single month. They can see the feed. So the fan has gone ahead and subscribed to the girl's OnlyFans. He will then be able to see the feed of her content. And then from here on, the model is then able to speak to all of her fans on a private community, which is on her OnlyFans, and she can then chat to them, sell them content, some photos, some videos, etc. And the idea behind it is that, let's just say a model has 1 million followers on Instagram. Well, it's impossible for her to reply to all of the tens of thousands of DMs on Instagram, right? Whereas if she has a platform like OnlyFans, out of that million, maybe only 2, 5, 6, 7,000 people will actually subscribe. And then all of a sudden, there's way less messages and it's more manageable to actually respond to all of the fans. And of course, the creator makes a lot of money. Why not? So as an OnlyFans creator, these are the daily tasks that they have to take care of, okay? So I'm just going to run you guys through all the different things that the creator has to be in charge of and manage every single day, all right? So thinking of the content, by the way, my team, could you guys make this bigger? Yeah, thank you. So number one, she has to think of the content. So what am I creating today? Every day she'll wake up and she's like, okay, like, what do I do today on Instagram? What do I do today on TikTok, etc. She has to think of the content ideas. She then has to record the content. So she set it up, tripod, press record, do her little thing, press done, boom, right? She has to create the content. She has to edit the content. After that, she has to open up an app, edit it, crop it, add some music, etc. She then has to upload the content on all of the different social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, etc. And then she also has to organize collaborations, right? These are 5 things already, 5 things that she has to do every day. Organize collabs, right? In order for her to grow her social media, she has to do collaborations with other OnlyFans clients. She also then has to post content on OnlyFans, right? So after she's done all of her social media, she then has to take that content or maybe some exclusive content and then post it on her OnlyFans as well. That's a whole nother job. Reply to hundreds of messages. I mean, I genuinely mean hundreds, if not thousands of messages. And she has to stay up till 3 in the morning because typically that's when it's the most busiest. Like first piece of lesson right away for you, all you guys, make sure you note this down. This may or may not be on the quiz. That the peak hours are typically around 10 p.m. and 3 a.m., right? So the model now has to stay up till 3 in the morning messaging all these fans, right? So she doesn't get much sleep. Organize and advertise live streams. So she has to go live and show people that she's here, she's talking to them, etc., interacting with them. And manage her finances as well, right? These are 10 things that the model has to manage all by herself. Like this is a full-time job here, right? It's kind of like imagine running a restaurant all by yourself, right? You have to do the marketing to get people in. You have to pick up the phone and book people in for a meal. Then you have to greet them at the door. You have to take their jacket. You have to take them to the table.
You have to take their order. You have to quickly run to the bar, make the drink, bring them the drink. Then you have to take their food order. Then you have to run into the kitchen, make the food, then bring them the food, then make sure they're all happy, and then they can go. And then the next one comes. Like, physically, could you run a restaurant by yourself? I mean, I guess, but why would you? That's insane. There's so many things going on. Obviously, nobody runs a restaurant by themselves. And with your help, and hopefully now this is going to start to make you guys understand how and why this business model works, okay? With your help, all of that the model has to do is simply film the content. All of a sudden, all of this is taken away. And with your help, as long as you do exactly what I tell you, the client just simply has to create the content and just focus on that. So imagine how much less stress, less hassle, less problems she has to deal with. It's simply just creating the content. And for you taking all of that work off of your client's hands, you, of course, take a percentage of the money you make together, right? Now, the industry standard is 50%. So whatever you guys make in that month, you guys take 50% and the model takes 50%. And because, I mean, look, the client has gone from doing 10 things every single day, trying to work her absolute hardest, to now just focusing on one thing, no stress, absolute bliss, peaceful, just creating the content, which she loves doing anyway. Everything else is taken care of. And for all of that, you just take 50%. The reason why a model would be incentivized to give away such a large percentage of her earnings is down to two reasons, right? This is now going to also start to make you guys understand, oh, okay, like this is why it's making sense. Number one, so make sure you guys are paying close attention, right? Number one, she doesn't have to do more than half of the tasks that she used to, meaning you're freeing up tons of her time. So if without you, she's working genuinely like 10 to 12 hours a day, like thinking of the content, recording it, editing it, posting it here, then posting it on OnlyFans, then responding to messages till 3 a.m, then waking up, then organizing collaborations, live streams. Whoa, there's so much here. With your help, she wakes up, hey, could you make this content? Yep, no problem, I love it, boom, done. Right? So number one, you saved her so much time, energy, and effort and headache. And then number two, if you do your job properly, and I'll show you on day 2 and 3 exactly how you can do that, you'll be making her more money than she could ever buy herself. And let me show you some examples, right? Because, for example, we recently signed a client where she was doing $400 a day by herself. Within just 2 days of working with us, she's now making $6,000 a day. Let me just explain that again real quick. Without us, the client by herself was making $400 a day by herself. We came on board and we implemented exactly what we do on our entire business, entire infrastructure. And within just 2 days, she's now making $6,000 every day. So from $400 to $6,000 a day. And this is, by the way, a real screenshot. So yeah, as you can see, went from around $400 here to $6,000. And by the way, we have clients like her making $200,000 a month, and we take 50% of that. So yes, I have clients who are making me $100,000 per month, every single one of them. All right. Sorry, not every single one of them. I'm saying I have some clients who are, just to be completely, fully transparent, by the way, right? So even if she is giving away 60%, now just bear with me here, because when I start talking about numbers and maths here, some people kind of just switch off. So just bear with me here, okay? So even if she's giving away 60% at $6,000 a day, she is still making $2,400 a day, which is $2K more than what she was without us. Okay, so let me just again paint the picture here. So if we're making her $6,000 a day and we are taking 60%, which we're not, by the way, but let's just say even if we were taking 60, that means she'd be left with 40%. 40% of 6,000 is 2,400. Which means she would be still making $2,000 more extra every day with our help, still at 40% than without us. Okay, this I definitely need to double check if you guys are with me here, okay? Put a W in the chat here if you guys are with me. So W's in the chat if this makes sense and you guys are with me and you're excited, like this makes sense, right? So without us, she's doing all this crazy stuff, like it's headache, there's so much going on. And she's only making $400 a day. And then with us, she's making extra $2,000 every day, doing less work, less headache, less time. And it's still even at 40%, which we didn't, by the way. It's a 50% deal. Okay. There's lots of W's. So I think it's making sense. All right. I love it. Guys, you guys are fucking awesome. I love every single one of you guys. Like, I love the fact that you guys are like interacting with me. I love it. Okay, somebody said, say that again. My brain is fried. Okay, really quickly. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but just put it this way, bro. Before us, a client was making this much, $400 a month. And we came on board, and now we're making this much, which is $6,000 a day with our help. And she had to do less work. She had to spend less time. There was less headache. But to really simplify it, right? And at a high level agency like myself, the best part is that this whole process is very hands-off and the entire system is already built out. Like, the craziest part is that we have people who are doing the marketing, who are doing the sales, who are doing the communication, etc. For me, it's very hands-off. You know, for me, I basically just spend about 2 hours a day and the entire business runs autopilot for me. Now, hopefully this business model is already making sense for you. And the last point I'll make to answer whether you're going to be able to sign clients or not is this, because I think for a lot of you guys as well right now, it's like, okay, this is making sense, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to sign a client. Like, come on, Marcus, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know any girls who are doing this, etc., etc. I don't know if I'll be able to sign a client, right? If that's what you're thinking, let me just explain something. And you guys can do this yourself. By the way, team, can you guys make the screen share big? So if you guys go on Google after this live stream, you guys can Google this yourself. How many OnlyFans creators are there? You guys can Google this yourself. I mean, I'm showing you the screenshot here. If you don't believe me, you can Google it after, but this is literally what will come up. There are 4.1 million OnlyFans creators. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. 4.1 million active OnlyFans creators, AKA potential clients. So boys, like, imagine a football stadium, right? Like, what, 15 to 20,000 people? Okay, like the big ones are like 50,000, I think, right? 40,000. But yeah, like a football stadium's like 15 to 20,000 people, right? Now imagine 2 football stadiums next to each other and they're full, they're packed with potential clients to work with. Now imagine like times that by like 1,000. like imagine, for as far as your eye can see, it's football stadiums filled with potential clients to work with. You guys are visualizing the amount of clients that you're able to work with, right? And the craziest part is as well, you yourself right now, whenever you think of like an OnlyFans girl, right, an OnlyFans creator, if you guys visualize it right now, like genuinely, like when I'm saying this live right now, like I want you guys, what do you guys picture? Like, do you guys picture probably like a hot, attractive girl, maybe like in the Maldives? She's probably got like Louis Vuitton designer. Maybe she's on a yacht. Maybe she's driving a G-Wagon. She's probably got a Birkin. She's probably living in a penthouse or a mansion. Wait a minute. These things cost a lot of money. These things are very expensive, which then probably means that they're making a lot of money. No? Yes. So now all of a sudden you're like, holy shit. All right, Marcus, I'm getting it. I'm fucking getting it now. There are millions of potential clients and a lot of them make a lot of money. I'm getting it. I'm getting it, bro. Right? Hopefully this is making sense. And how many competitors are there? Like for you as well right now, like how many are agencies out there, right? I already asked you guys. Most of you guys said like, no, like you don't know anybody besides me, right? Well, think about it for yourself. And by the way, at the end of this stream, I will do a Q&A. So I see a lot of you guys have questions. Make sure you keep those questions. And at the end of the stream, the very, very end of it, I'll answer you guys' questions, all right? Well, think about it for yourself. Besides me, how many of you guys know? Probably not many. Exactly. There's truly no competition, yet there are literally millions of potential clients to work with. So do you now understand just the opportunity you have in 2025? So for those of you who just would like to replace your 9-to-5 income and start living life on your own terms, you just need one client on a 50% contract, which is the industry standard, by the way. It's not like when you say 50%, everybody freaks out. Like 50% is normal. That's literally the industry standard. You just need one client out of the 4.1 million. You just need one. You need to help them get to $10,000 a month, and you are making $5,000 a month. I have literally hundreds of guys that I have helped start this, sign a client, and been able to scale them way past $10,000. And they take 50% of that, and within their first month, they're able to replace that 9-to-5. And I think as well, for a lot of people who are like, okay, but like, okay, Marcus, like, why the fuck are you telling people this? You know, like, whoa, like, if this is true, what you're telling me, why are you telling this to people? And look, I'm going to be honest. Of course, like this is an entire business of mine. Like a second one, I have 2 agencies right now. I have this. I'm all in this industry. Like, of course, like why wouldn't I? But more importantly, the reason why I'm doing this is for the young me. Is for the me that was in that fucking council estate, who had no money, who could barely afford to even go out of their friends, and saw my mother slaving away, working 3 cleaner fucking jobs. Her back hurt. She was in pain. She didn't want to do it. And yet what? I just stood there. What am I meant to do? Like what? Am I going to fucking pick up the phone and dial 100 leads a day and try and sign a chiropractor for my SMA, or try and find some shitty little product from China and try and make $2 a day? Like, bro, come on. The reason why I'm doing this is for those of you who have that burning fucking desire and you want to make a life-changing decision, and you want 2025 to finally be that year where everything changes for the better. That's why I do this shit. And tomorrow's live stream, I'll answer exactly how to start, get set up, sign your first client, and how to do the service delivery. And these are the exact 5 steps that I'll be covering with you guys tomorrow. All right. So number 1, setup of your new agency. This is the 5 steps that I'll be covering tomorrow. So you make sure you pay attention tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm not going to hold anything back. I literally have an entire presentation now. I'm going to be zooming in and out, going around, and I'll be sharing with you guys exactly what it is. So setting your new agency. For most people, this phase takes way too long, and they never even get started, right? They spend way too long getting set up, thinking about it, making this and that, and they never even get started. So I'll show you how to avoid that and get started straight away. I will show you how you only need one tool in less than 24 hours, and you can get started. I'll share with you that tomorrow. Same as Corey, made his first $681 in 24 hours. Mr. B made his first 1K. This was an old screenshot, by the way. This is Jack, who you guys may or may not be able to speak to on Wednesday. Another student making $4,000 in his first day. Step 2, I'll teach you guys how to do outreach. Okay, so this is the fucking bread and butter. A lot of you guys are like, okay, this is making sense, but how do I reach out? How do I sign a client, etc.? Step 2 is where I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what to do, what not to do, and how to get your first client. Very, very simple steps with no previous experience, no results to showcase, because I know a lot of you guys are just starting out. You don't have any results, right? What do? I'm going to teach you guys exactly. Most people think that getting their first client is the biggest struggle. In fact, this is what most people think that's going to stop them from making an OFM, right? And in part 2, I'll show you exactly for anybody that is 18 and over can start and scale. And this is one of a funny result. This is a little while ago as well. This is Will. Literally 18 years old, making a total of $20,000 profit with 5 models a month. At 18, bro, what? I was playing video games. I was living in my mom's apartment. Like, what? $20,000 a month. It's insane. Again, the only rule is that you're 18 and over. We have 0 tolerance. Of course, we don't deal with anybody who's under the age of 18. That's the only requirement. Step 3, onboarding new clients. For any of you who are thinking, okay, I could probably get started. I can probably get a client. But what the fuck do I do then? I've never done this. I've never done marketing. I've never managed a client. I've never even built a business. Like, what do I do then? Well, step 3, I'm going to teach you guys exactly. Tomorrow, I will teach you exactly what to do. And one of the best parts of OnlyFans management with agencies is reoccurring income. If you onboard a client correctly, okay, if you do that correctly, she will stay with you for 1 month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, maybe even 24, a year or 2. And all of a sudden, just one client is making you 10K a month. You keep working with them, You do a bit more outreach, you get a second client. Now you have 2 clients paying you 10K each. Keep doing, you get a third one. Now you have 3 clients paying you 10K each. You understand how this can start to multiply very fucking quickly. And then this business, unlike any other, it's all referral based. If you get a client and you do a fantastic job based on exactly what I'm going to teach you, all of a sudden, she is going to tell all of her friends as well, oh, this guy's amazing. Like, you should work with him as well. And all of a sudden you get 2 clients now. Then you got a third one. And exactly, here's a student of ours, $34,000, $46,000, 46, 46, 47, 49, $51,000 a month. This is every single month. Step 4 is the actual service delivery, right? So a lot of people are kind of worried, okay, but like, what if I don't do a good service, right? What if I mess it up? Well, in tomorrow's part 4, I'll explain to you guys exactly how you can nearly guarantee to increase nearly every model's income by 275%. 275% increase, even if you have no experience in any of this stuff. It's very, very simple. And it's one simple hack that I normally actually teach my paid members, but I'm going to share with you guys tomorrow, same time. Make sure you show up. And that's how you can go from numbers like this. So this right here is one of our clients, and I can share this with you guys. So this is back in April. This is before she was working with us. This is when she was working by herself. All right. So in April 2024, so quite some time ago, she only made $7,000. I say only because honestly, in this industry, it's only $7,000. In this industry, your goal shouldn't be 10K. Your goal should be 50, 60, 70, 80. But obviously, I'm just going to, bear with. I know a lot of people are new here and a lot of people can't even fucking fathom the idea yet. So just bear with me, right? But she made $7,000 in April. And the breakdown between that was 5.1 thousand in subscriptions and 1.8 thousand in messages, right? Which made her a grand total of $7,000. With our help, last month, you guys can literally see this yourself. This is January 2025. Literally last month that just ended. We made her $88.5 thousand. And the breakdown between that is 13.4 thousand in subscriptions, 8.7 in tips, and 66.3 thousand in messages. So by herself, she was only making 1.8 thousand messages. With our help, she's now making 66.3 thousand in 1 month. And by the way, yes, we take 50% of that because why wouldn't we? We saved her so much time. We saved her so much headache, so much hassle, and we've made her an extra like $80,000 that she never made before. She used to make like $8,000, $7,000 a month. She's now making $88,000, which is just insane. And step 5, for me, this is my favorite part and most important. Step 5 is scaling a team, right? Especially for some of you guys who are brand new. You're like, whoa, like I've never hired people before. I've never managed staff members. I'm new to this stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle this. We're going to teach you exactly where and how and when to hire people, how it's all set up. And this is going to be explained in full detail. And once you have this set up, you could have like this, for example, is my second agency that I've just recently set up, literally 2 months ago, by the way, on December. And this was for this live event because I will share with you guys, how I built this. A brand new agency. And last month, as you can, I don't know if this is quite small for you guys actually, but this right here says January the 1st, 2025 to January the 31st, 2025. With this brand new agency, I was able to bring in $207,000 in 1 month. Like, I know for a lot of you guys, that's probably like, whoa, what the fuck? In 2 months, like he just started, and in 1 month, he was able to bring in over 200K. But what's crazy is in this industry of OFM, believe me, like that's just the start. So this same time tomorrow, again, you'll receive an email with the join-in link. The same as you guys joined today. Make sure you check your spam folder. On day 2, I'll be revealing exactly these 5 steps. So make sure you pay close attention. Today's presentation, we'll be going over the 5-step plan you need in order to not only get started, but also sign your first client and also make your first $7,000 in 30 days of OFM. So this is the key right here today. There's a 5-step plan, and we're going to be going over that today. And this 5-step plan is what's helped me go from this. Now, for a lot of you guys who were here yesterday, you would have seen the conditions that I come from, right? For just a few of you who are brand new on today's live stream, I mean, yeah, this is just my lifestyle. This is where I come from, Like, I was born in Latvia. I lived in a council estate in the UK. Yeah, by the way, these are my mom's sunglasses. I was just doing dumb shit, Like, I think most teenagers in the UK were just partying, doing dumb stuff that they probably shouldn't have been. But I just didn't know what the fuck to do. I didn't have an older brother or a father to tell me what to do. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't know what to do. And, I stumbled across this business model online where I could make money online with OnlyFans. And obviously it doesn't mean that I would be going to OnlyFans, but I would manage other creators on OnlyFans. And I realized that nobody was doing it. And it was super, super lucrative. And with this business model, it helped me go from this to kind of where we are right now, right? I've been able to retire my lovely mother. I've been able to get her a house in the UK. I've been able to buy some cool cars. So like this one is the Hurricane that I've got. I've also got a Rolls Royce Ghost. I've been able to travel the world, buy some watches like this RM. I've got a Patek. I've got a few watches. But anyway, the point being here is I'm not trying to come across like a pretentious dickhead, which some of you guys are probably thinking. The point is that this business model that I'm about to teach you guys has absolutely changed my life for the better in every way, shape, or form. And if you guys, most of you guys, 99% of you guys were in here yesterday, you would have understood just the opportunity that you guys are just stumbled across, okay? So without any further ado, let's go into the 5 steps. And once you execute the 5 steps, which is what I done, this is what my agency, my second agency, my new one that I started 2 months ago, it done $200,000 in January, right? In revenue for the business, $207,000. Again, if we just zoom in, this is from January the 1st till January the 31st, 2025. And yeah, I made $207,000 from my second agency that I built for this live event. Okay. And again, make sure you come back tomorrow because it's all going to start to make sense. Why am I doing all this stuff? Okay. But this is just to prove that within just a short 2 months, with my experience and my knowledge, obviously, like you guys don't have that yet. Hence why I'm here. I'm trying to give you guys the value and the ideas and the information that I've got in here. But with what I've got in here, in a matter of 2 fucking months, I've been able to scale a business to $207,000 in 30 days, which is pretty nuts. And the breakdown goes like this: 36K in subscriptions, 150K, well, 149K, but basically 150K in messages and 21,000 in tips, right? And that, and obviously, yeah, $500 in posts comes to accumulation of $207,000 in here. All right. So you can do the same in 5 simple steps, which we're going to go over today, right now. I'm not going to waste any time. Make sure you're paying attention on this one, boys, and let's just jump into it, right? So let's start off with step number 1. So step number 1 is the setup of your new agency. Now, for most people, this phase takes way too long, right? They never even get started with managing clients or making money as they overthink it massively. I will show you exactly how quick and simple it is to get started and what you need to have in place in order to sign your first client and start earning money. Just to give you a bit of context, like most people spend way too much time on this and they never even get started, right? And let's avoid that. So here's how you do that. All right. So here's what you'll need. So first things first, you'll need a personal Instagram account, all right? So just to make sure it's a public profile, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, just make sure that the content on your page is somewhat professional looking. So no photos of you drunk, etc. Just make sure that the Instagram profile that people are going to be seeing is presentable, right? Also, put a 1 in the chat, by the way, if you guys have an Instagram account. I'm pretty sure most of you will, right? Also, let me just double check the monitor just turned off for some reason. Give me a second, guys. This shit happens, you know? Give me just a sec. Okay, let me just actually fix this. Give me a sec, guys. Okay, we're back. We're back like we never left. Okay, it's turning on. All right, here we go. Yo, this shit happens. We're live. I don't know, like what? All right, cool. So anyway, yeah, I mean, everybody has an Instagram account, right? Like who would have guessed? You know what's absolutely crazy is that's genuinely all you need. That's truly all you need. If you don't want to do outreach from your personal account, by the way, you can also create a new business page where you can reach out from. So you can create like an agency account. So you can figure out like a name for your agency. You can then create an agency account on Instagram. And then from then on, you can send messages from there, right? But if you just want to get started, you don't want to fuck about, you don't want to waste any time, you just want to get started and try and sign a client as quickly as possible, you just need your personal Instagram account. I'm not joking. Like, this is how simple it is. I made so much money. And by the way, with this new agency, within the first month, we done about $97,000. And in that first month, I didn't have a website. I didn't have an agency Instagram page. We didn't have any of that stuff, right? And I was still able to make $97,000 in that first month. So if you really wanted to, and you just wanted to get started, you genuinely just need a personal Instagram account. Okay. Now, like I said, you can create an agency account if you wish to keep it anonymous and you don't want to use your personal account. Absolutely fine, no problem. But this is just for the people who don't want to bother creating a new Instagram account, thinking about all this stuff. You just want to get started. Your personal account is good. And that's exactly what a lot of our students done, by the way. Again, for example, Mr. B, $1,000 in a day. Here's Corey, made $681 right there. Here's another student, Etoin. He made $4,000 right here. This was July the 30th till May the 1st in just 24 hours, okay? Now, however, of course, I'm going to give you as much detail as possible in this one stream. And there's some more things that you can obviously have in place for the setup and the foundations, okay? So again, this is for the people who really want to do it properly from the get-go, right? If you just want to get started and you just want to not waste any time, that's all you need. But for all of you, those who want to actually do it properly and really hit it properly, here's the new age way of doing things, okay? So first things first, you'll need a contract and a document signing tool like PandaDoc. Now, what do I mean by contract? And what do I mean by document signing tool? A lot of you guys were asking me this yesterday on a yesterday stream, like, hey, Marcus, what contract do I need, et cetera, all right? So the contract, this is what we got, right? So it's about a 6-page legally binding contract that we use online to send to our clients. And it basically states that legally, they're happy and they're consenting to sign on with our agency for a 12-month period with a 6-month break clause. And they're legally giving us consent to sell their pictures, to sell their videos and content of them online on a platform like OnlyFans, right? So you need to make sure that you have something this in place. Now, with my coaching program, of course, I give this to you guys. But for you guys, if you wanted to try and do it yourself, I mean, there's a couple of options, right? Like the main one is, well, you've got to go to a lawyer to get this done. That's what we done when we first started. It'll cost you about £1,500 to do this. But trust me, you do need this. Now, again, like I said, for my people, I give this away for free. But that's something you definitely need, okay? Because you in this business, 100%, you need to do things definitely correctly. You don't want to fuck about, okay? And then the signing tool that we use is PandaDoc. I think it's like $20, $30 a month. And you're able to upload the contract on there, and then you're able to send that to your clients, and they're able to sign it, right? Now, next is, of course, the name and logo for your agency. Now, there's two things, really, really simple. You can either just use ChatGPT to come up with a name for your agency, or just give you like loads of different ideas. So you can literally go on ChatGPT and you can be like, give me 20 names for an OnlyFans management agency that sound professional, sleek, and it's a short name, right? And it will come up with like Luminosity, Yvonne, or whatever, like, just these random things that will come up with them. You just pick the best ones. And then you say, if you want some more ideas, you say, I really like number 3. Can you give me 10 more examples similar to number 3? And then it'll take the second one, it'll expand it, and it'll give you different variations of that one, right? So you don't have to spend loads of time. You don't have to sit there and think about, oh, like this idea is going to come to me, right? You guys can make this shit up through ChatGPT. Then in terms of the logo, you can simply just get somebody on Fiverr to make it come to life, right? That's literally what I done. So I use my iPad. This is literally my iPad. I simply just sketched out my logo on an iPad with one of those little pens that comes with it. Obviously, you don't have to use an iPad. You can literally use a pen and paper. Super, super simple. And then I simply sent this to a guy on Fiverr, and then he made this for me. Obviously, super simple. And I probably could have done it if I really wanted to, but I just didn't want to waste my time, right? So this is my agency, super, super simple, okay? And then of course, you can have a website for your agency as well. This is my website as well, okay? Now, again, you definitely don't need these things, but overall, it is a net positive, and it can help you stand out from the competition and help you get more clients than you even know what to deal with, all right? And yeah, the website, again, use Fiverr. Like, you can either get somebody on Fiverr, or again, as a part of my program, I give a website templates for you guys, so it's just built for you. You don't really have to fuck about with it, all right? So guys, that's step 1. Pretty simple, right? Guys, does that make sense for step 1? Because it genuinely is that simple. Do you guys have any questions? Let me know. And also, the screen just went out again. Okay, this is not ideal, I'm going to be honest. But guys, do you guys have any questions about step 1 whilst I'm fixing my screen? Bear with me. Isn't it great when you guys go live and then your screen just decides to not work? You know what I mean? Let me see. Hello, screen? Please work. Hello? I think it's working. Okay. I think it's working. I don't know, I just decided not to work for a second. Okay, we're back. Okay, cool. Okay, so I have some questions. No? How do we get your own website? So like I said, you guys can get a website through Fiverr. You guys can get somebody to build it. You can build it on ClickFunnels. You can build it on Go High Level, etc. All right? Okay, so that's step one done. Obviously, this is the super simple stuff. This is a bit of the kind of boring-ish stuff. Let's get into the actual more practical stuff, which is more exciting, how to get your first clients and outreach, all right? Which is exactly what step two is. So step two, we're going to start going over outreach and how to get your first client. So I'll show you how easy and simple it is and how you can sign your first client for your new agency, even with no experience or previous results to showcase. All right. And this is just a screenshot of how many clients we're getting. This is all in one day, by the way. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 potential clients in one day. And let me show you guys how simple this is. Okay. Even if you have no results, no screenshots to leverage, etc. Right? So first of all, I think everybody learns differently, but for me, the best way that I learn is if you tell me what not to do, then I'm like, okay, all right, this is what I need to avoid to not fuck this up. Okay. So I'm gonna do the same thing for you guys. So this is what you don't want to do, and this is what you can avoid. All right. So first things first, when you guys are reaching out, and by the way, you're going to be reaching out on Instagram, okay? Again, remember on step one, you guys can just use your personal Instagram account. So with the personal Instagram account, you're going to find OnlyFans models, which is super simple. You literally just search on the search pad, you find a model, and then from her following list, you go into other models and you simply rinse and repeat the cycle, right? And then you send them a message. Now, here's what you don't want to do, all right? So what you don't want to do is send massive paragraphs in the DMs. Like, guys, realistically, when was the last time you guys saw a massive, big, bold text? Either it's a DM or a contract or an email or a website, whatever. And it was a massive thread and there's just a big block of text. When was the last time you read the whole thing? Like, come on, guys. Obviously, you didn't, right? Like nobody does that. And bear in mind that your target audience that we're going to be reaching out to here are OnlyFans models, right? They're super busy. They got shit going on. They don't want to read a massive paragraph, right? So please your first message should not be a massive paragraph. So don't do that, okay? Now, next thing that you don't want to do is don't copy and paste messages. Please don't do this, okay? Because if you just copy and paste, what will happen is your account will get banned, right? Well, when I say banned, you're going to get restricted first. So Instagram is going to be like, yo, hold the fuck up, relax, chill out. Don't do that again, right? And then you're on a timeout. And then you can be on a timeout for 12 hours, 1 day, 2 days, 7 days, which means you can't send more messages to new people for a couple of days. And you don't want that. And the way how you're able to avoid that is by typing the message out, like physically type it out. Is it a bit more effort? And would it be easier to copy and paste it? It would be easier to copy and paste it. But if you copy and paste it over and over and over and you get shadow banned and you're not able to send out more messages, who cares? Right? So yes, it's a bit more effort, but fuck me, bro. If you just type out with your thumbs, hopefully all of you guys watching this have 2 thumbs, right? If you just type out the message with your thumbs, you'll have a higher chance to actually reach that message to the potential client. Then you're able to send more messages. Therefore, more girls will see it. You have a higher chance to sign clients. All right. So don't fucking copy and paste it. So many people make that mistake. Next one is don't be inconsistent, right? Okay, guys, put a 1 in the chat if you guys go to the gym. So for anybody of you guys who goes to the gym, put a 1 in the chat. So I just want to see, hopefully there's a lot of you guys who go to the gym, right? Like if you don't, you should. Like it's just a pretty good thing to do in life, right? And I'm going to give you guys the analogy here, right? Okay, yeah, like fucking hell, I think everybody here goes gym. This is good. So for example, if you guys are going to the gym right now, right? You are eating healthy, you're going to the gym, even if it's like 4 days a week, right? But you're consistently going 4 days a week, you're eating healthy consistently, right? What would happen if you now started going only 1 day a week, but that 1 day a week you work out really fucking hard, you work out for 3 hours, right? And then you come home and you eat absolute horrible stuff, like you order some pizzas, burgers, you eat chocolate, you drink fizzy drinks, etc., right? And you only work out once a week. So all of a sudden, your consistency is gone, right? You're not going gym consistently. And yeah, sure, you have lots of gains, Shannon. Yeah, you see what I mean? So like, obviously it's the same thing with business, right? So what you don't want to do is you don't want to just spend one day out of the week, like sending out like 100 messages, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you don't do anything. And then on Monday, you send 200 messages or something like this, right? And then again, like, come on, you don't want to do that, because again, you'll get banned. And then also you're not building this consistency. It's all about consistency in this business. Okay, let's go into the next ones. So the next one that you don't want to do is you don't want to forget to follow up. The money is always in the follow-up. And here's the first like real big value for all of you guys is people like me who have a little bit of money, right? So who are quite, successful, and they have loads of things going on, etc. That sounded like a very pretentious dickhead, but hopefully you get the point I'm trying to make across here. I don't mean to sound like one, but I'm just saying people like me who have a lot of things going on, right? We have a lot of things going on. We have 20, 30, 40 people that we speak to every single day. We have 4 or 5 different things moving along. We have to focus on this, then talk to this guy, send this over to here, boom, 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 boom. We have so many things going on, right? If you message me just once, I might actually be interested. But by the time I've finished reading your message and I'm about to reply, something way more important might come up, and then that's it. Like I was actually interested in your message, but because this thing came up, which is way more important, and I had to pick up the phone, and I'm now talking to this thing, I've forgotten about you. And then by the time I finish this 15-minute phone call, there's another 5 things that have come up, and your message is now all the way at the bottom in my archives, right? Like this, I'm trying to paint the picture here on what it's like when you guys are messaging people and on the other side, right? For people like me, like it's impossible for me to go through all of your messages, right? I love and appreciate all of you guys. And for example, I'll show you like the amount of messages that I get. So this is just my requested folder. Like for example, if we go here, I do read them and I do respond to as many as I can. But by the way, these are all just today. Like these are literally all just today. I don't know if you guys can see on this side. No, yeah, I think so. Yeah, it says one day. So that's like, and I'm not no celebrity. I'm not like famous or anything. And just bear in mind, that's me. So imagine the potential clients that you're reaching out to who have like 400, 500, 600,000 followers. Imagine how many messages they get, right? So if they respond to you, you must follow up with them. It's not you being annoying. It's not you just being annoying. It's not. You simply following up with them because it's a business deal. There's a business, potential business transaction, and you're trying to help them. So I need you to switch your mindset from a follow-up is like this annoying, you're coming across needy kind of thing. It's not. Instead, you should be thinking of like, I'm about to provide you so much value, and I would actually be doing you a disservice if I don't follow up with you and you don't see my message. Okay. And by the way, if anybody might be wondering, okay, how many times should I follow up, etc. There's no right or wrong, but I recommend maybe once a day for 4 days. Like at least try that. Okay. So yeah, cool. Now, instead, here's what you should do. Okay. So first things first is write a personalized first message. So the first message that you send out ideally should be something that's personalized on their account. So if they just recently posted something, maybe it was a Valentine's post, maybe they went on a trip to the Maldives, maybe they went, maybe they bought a new car, maybe it was their birthday recently, right? I don't know what the fuck it could be. It could be a million different things, but whatever has recently happened on their profile, you want to message them about that in the first message. Make sense? Okay. Because when you make it personalized, then the prospect understands like, okay, you've actually paid at least a little bit of fucking attention compared to everybody else out there. By the way, just so you guys know, like this is genuinely free game I'm giving to you guys. And I normally have this behind a paywall. Like this is normally for my paid community. And I'm fucking doing this once live. So please pay attention, right? Because this might seem like common sense, but for a lot of people, they don't do this. And what they do is they copy and paste a massive paragraph, right? And then like that's what everybody does. And obviously that doesn't stand out. They don't even get into the inboxes. You guys who are smart, who are on this live stream, who are listening to me and taking this information in, you guys are about to do it correctly and actually stand out. So first things first is make sure that it's personalized in the first message, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Cool. Next one is optimize the page that you're sending the messages from. So if you're sending messages from your personal page, again, make sure that it's not just like a private account with 12 followers, no posts, and a black profile picture, right? Nobody's going to like trust that. Instead, maybe try to put your face as the profile picture. Maybe try and get some followers. The followers don't matter too much. Physically, you could still have 12 followers. That's not too big of a deal. But make sure it's like a public profile. You have your face as the profile picture. You have a little bit of a description about who you are and what you do. Maybe you have some story highlights about your life, a bit of a story about who you are. And if you have some results, then obviously share those on that Instagram account as well. All right. So make sure that the page that you're sending out from is optimized also. All right. The next one is go back on the prospect's profile and let them know that you've sent them a message. Okay. So in this instance, when you guys send the prospect a message on Instagram, don't just send them a message and move on to the next one. Right. Instead, and by the way, again, genuinely, I've never said this before, like ever publicly for free. And again, this is genuinely in our paid community and our paid program. But this is a hack right here. This is how you can increase your open rate by at least 15%. And we've tested this stuff out. And it's as simple as this. You send the prospect a message, you'll then swipe away and go back onto their Instagram profile. And then you open up their highlights and then you just like a few of them. You just like 3-4 of them. Then you go onto their recent post, or maybe you scroll down and you go from like their third post, etc. And then you leave a comment, something along the lines of like, hey, name, I've sent you a DM. Please, could you check it out? Something along these lines, letting them know that you have DM'd them. Make sense? All right, cool, guys. Next one is track any responses and follow up. So you guys need to have a CRM. A CRM basically stands for Client Relationship Management Tool, like the T is silent. But it's basically a software where you're able to keep all of your leads in one place. Because, so a lot of you guys, like when you guys are just starting out, you may be messaging like 5, 10, 15 people a day. And that's very easy to manage, right? There's not that many people that you're talking to. But eventually, very, very quickly, you're going to start to do 15, 20, 30 every single day. And then think about it. If you do 30 messages for 2 weeks in a row, you're already dealing with over 100 messages, right? And then they're going to start responding. And now you've got to keep a track of like 20 different conversations. And it's going to be all over the place, right? So instead, you should have one software where you can keep all of your leads in one place. And again, tomorrow, episode 3, I'll tell you exactly what software that is, how you could use it, how you could also start to make all of this make sense. Okay. So again, make sure you guys are coming back for tomorrow. So that's what you guys should be doing, right? And if you follow those instructions, which are the exact same ones I gave Frederick, and just before I talk about Frederick, just so you guys know as well, like a lot of you guys will be like, all right, Marcus, like, what's the script? What's the script? Because a lot of people are like that, right? Ladies and gentlemen, no, there is no script. And I'm telling you why. And I'm doing this as a favor for you guys because I've tested this before. Whenever I give a script out, here's exactly what happens. And I've genuinely fucking tested this for like 2-3 years. When I give a script out, first thing, everybody fucking uses the same script, right? So you are DMing 20 models, the same thing that 200 other people are DMing them. It's stupid. It doesn't work. And the second thing is, whenever I give out a script, that's when people literally, even though I say don't copy and paste messages, they'll just ignore that and they'll be lazy and they'll literally copy and paste the same message. So I'm giving you guys a favor here by not giving you guys a script to copy and paste. But based on these things, on what not to do, and instead what you should do, this is what Frederick followed exactly bar for bar, right? Brick for brick is exactly what Frederick followed. And by the way, this is literally just the other day. As you guys can see, this is January 29th, 2025. So this was literally just a couple of days ago. And Frederick signed a client on the 29th. And yeah, it was awesome. And we do like group coaching calls. So he jumped on a call with me and he asked me like, hey, Marcus, look, I have this model that's interested, but I don't know how to sign her, etc. I told him, okay, bro, relax. Here's exactly what you need to do. You're going to do this, then you're going to do that. Then on here, you're going to do this and you're going to say it exactly like this. He just said, all right, cool. Say no more. Went ahead and done exactly step by step, and he was able to sign a client just like that. It is honestly that simple. And yeah, here I say, is this the one that we spoke about in the last night's call? And I said, well done, congratulations, bro. And he was like, yeah, it was. So yeah, that's another like awesome thing about the community is I get to interact with you guys. I get to jump on calls. I get to help you directly on whatever you're struggling with, right? And then he's gone on to do $1,000 a day. Which is pretty awesome. So that's a $30,000 a month run rate, which is pretty awesome stuff. But then again, he wasn't satisfied with that. He's now doing $2,000 a day, which was, by the way, literally just yesterday, right? So he's literally just gone from $30,000 a month to $60,000 a month run rate, which is just like, again, like, I don't know what other business model you can do that within a couple of days. Within a couple of days that you can do that with no extra ad spend, with no extra overheads, with no crazy team, with no crazy systems, etc. Like, it is insane. All right. And you guys need to be surrounded with people like this. You guys need to be in a community where all we fucking do is talk about this business model, how we can get better, how we can improve, how we can get more clients, how we can get better results, how we can do this. And imagine you're surrounded with 100, 200, 300 guys just like this from all around the world, and you're all networking, you're all giving ideas for each other, right? I'm starting to sound like Luke Belmar when he's like, I studied, bro. Network. Anyway. But look, like I said earlier, I think there truly is simply no other online business money-making opportunity like this in 2025, where you can go from $0 to $60,000 a month. Like, I just don't know. Like, I really don't know. And I don't think there's many other things like that. Sure, you can get lucky with something like crypto or trading, but it's not consistent. You're not going to, get consistently these kind of results. Now, to give you guys some bit more source right here about client acquisition, let me tell you guys something here. Now, there are dozens of tricks you can use when outreaching to not only make yourself stand out, but also increase the chances of your messages being opened, which will help you sign more clients. I will share just one tactic out of the dozens that we have that is an absolute game changer that can get 90% open rate. Guys, so this one, I definitely need to make sure that you guys are fucking excited for this one. Put a yes, Y-E-S, put a yes in the chat if you guys want me to share with you guys exactly how you can get a 90% open rate. So imagine sending 10 messages, and out of those 10 messages, 9 of them will see your message. Guaranteed. This is no bullshit, and I'm genuinely about to share that. But I just need to make sure that you guys actually want it, because, I don't know, maybe you guys just don't care. Maybe you guys don't even want to see it. Yes? Okay. Rafael, Santiago, yes. Joe, yes. Blasco, yes. Okay, Dennis, yes. All right, Dennis said capital yes. All right, cool. So you guys do. All right. Now pay attention, because, well, number one, I have never shared this publicly for free ever before. And number two, I will never share this publicly for free ever again. So this is the first and the only time I'm about to share this with you, because it only works because most people don't know about this. All right, let me share this with you guys. So first things first, you must understand what is the first goal. Right? So our first goal here, when trying to sign a client before you can even pitch your services and your agency, we have to first get the prospect to just see your message in the first place, right? Because if nobody sees your message, it's pointless. Nobody knows like who you are, what it is, going, etc. Right? So the first goal is just to get them to see your message, right? That's what we're trying to fix right now. So then think about it, right? What would be the best way for her to notice your notification on outreach, right? For example, she, like most OnlyFans models, they get tons of likes. She'll get tons of comments. She'll get new follower notifications and loads of DMs, right? However, there is one notification on Instagram that they don't get often. And I want to see, some of you guys might guess it, right? Think about it. Guys, guess it in the chat, and I'm going to call your name out if you actually guess it. What's the one notification on Instagram that most people don't get too often? And as you can see here, it's not likes. It's not comments. It's not followers. It's not DMs. Okay, somebody said a call. No, like I don't think many people get phone calls. Okay, yes. Yeah. Who was the first one? I think it was Dennis. Dennis said story mentions. Yeah. Okay, I think Dennis was the first one. Yes, tags. Somebody said reply to story. Not quite. It's a story mention. Yeah, story mention. Okay. It's story tags right here. Look, even somebody like myself, who I'm not no fucking famous person, but I roughly reach around 3 to 5 million people on my Instagram every 30 days. Okay. So out of those like 5 million people, I get tons of people liking my stuff. I get tons of people starting to follow me. I get tons of comments as well. And yeah, I get followers, comments, likes, etc. However, the story mentions, look at this, only one. Right? And sometimes, most of the time, actually, I have 0, right? I have absolutely 0. Yeah, somebody just said, I did it to Andrew Tate and he liked my story. Bro, this is no joke. This is no joke. I tried this with one of my friends, and he done it with Drake. I swear to fucking God, Drake opened a story. I swear to God. Now, it was probably his team on his Instagram or something, like just flicking through the story mentions. But Drake genuinely fucking opened a story. I'm not joking. Like, this is how powerful this stuff is. This is a hack. Like, this is genuinely a hack. Like, any celebrity that you want them to notice you, you just tag them in your story, and there's a very, very, very high chance that they will see your story. All right. So from now on, whenever you're reaching out to a prospect, you can also tag them in your story where you're telling them to check their DMs from yourself. All right. So yeah, you simply tag them in your story, and they're definitely going to see your message, right? And you can do this multiple times, and this is what our students will be doing. So here, one of our students, $11.7 thousand. Here's another one. Andrew did $13.1 thousand in 1 month. $13.1 thousand with this method. So that's step 2, guys, and that's how you're going to be able to sign clients. So just stay consistent. Don't copy and paste. Don't send out like massive paragraphs. Be personalized in the messages, and stay consistent, right? And as soon as somebody replies, you need to follow up with them, etc. All right. Cool. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, somebody said, I even do it to you, bro. Yeah, and I open your stories, right? My brother done chunks and got a message. Bro, this is what I mean, like chunks. Like, these guys are famous, man. Like, they have loads of followers, and they will still see your messages. Cardi B opened mine. Oh, wait, I just realized this is Kendrick Lamar in the chat. But yeah, no, serious, right? Nixter, this is gold, right? You guys are getting it, right? Boys, like, I swear to God, if you guys think that this is crazy, wait till what I'm about to share with you guys tomorrow. So make sure you guys come back tomorrow, because all of this is then tomorrow going to start to make sense, and the whole system is going to come in together. Okay. Like, for example, as well, some of you guys are talking about the community, this and that. Again, make sure you guys are coming back tomorrow, because I'll be answering all of this in a lot more detail. All right. This is gold. All right. Good. Okay. Step 3 is the onboarding. All right. So by now, you guys have done the setup, you guys have done the outreach, and you guys have closed a client. So now, once you've closed a client, it's like, okay, but some of you guys might be thinking, okay, but what if I, sign a client, and what do I do after? What do I do when I sign a client? Or what if it all goes wrong? Like, what if I sign a client and it all goes wrong? I don't know what to do. Like once they say yes, what the fuck do I do then? Right. So make sure you're paying close attention to this part, because I'm about to explain it. All right. This is such a simple yet crucial step for your agency, because if you mess this up, it can cost you losing time, money, but more importantly, the client within your first month. Okay. I'm going to take a sip of this drink, but just so you guys know, if you fuck this up, because this is the part where most people think like, oh yeah, it's just easy. I'll just get a login details and I'll just start working. If you fuck this up, you will lose the client within the first month, which means you have done all of that outreach, you've done all of the prospecting, you've got her on a call, you've spoken to her for like an hour or whatever on a call, you've got her to agree to sign up with 50%, she sent the contract, you signed it, blah, blah, and now you fucked it in the first month if you don't follow what I'm about to teach you guys. So make sure. Okay, cool. So if you don't have an onboarding process, here's what's going to happen, okay? So I'm about to teach you guys what is the onboarding process. However, if you don't have the onboarding process set up, this is what will happen, right? So if you don't have it set up correctly, clients will feel lost and confused on what's happening next, right? Like, if you don't have an entire onboarding process, once the model has signed the contract, she'll just then be like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? Like, hello, what's next? How long? When, where, what, who do I talk to? Where do I talk to? What's happening next, right? So the idea with the onboarding process is it very clearly explains everything and manages their expectations very, very particularly in such an order where all of their questions are answered and they know exactly what's going on, okay? Okay, let me give you guys an analogy, right? So let's just say you, by the way, also put a 1 in the chat if you guys don't like going to like the doctors or the dentist, right? I think, to be honest, probably most people, but I don't know, maybe some of you guys don't mind. But like, for me personally, as much as I love my dentist, she's like the best, but like, I just don't want to go to like a dentist or a doctor, right? And the reason why is because I know it's probably going to be like an uncomfortable experience. It's going to hurt at some point, somewhere, etc., right? Now, imagine if you went to a doctor and like a dentist, for example. Let's just say you went to a dentist, And the dentist didn't say anything. She or he didn't say anything. You just lay down on the bed and they just start injecting you. The drill starts coming out, like all this crazy stuff going on. And they don't tell you anything. They don't tell you how the procedure is going to go, how long it will last, how many teeth need to be fixed, or what's going on with your teeth, or what's going to happen after, so on and so on, right? Like imagine none of this happened, right? Somebody just said my wife was a lead dentist and I still dreaded it. Yeah, right? Your dad's a dentist, Tom. So you see what I mean? Like imagine if they just didn't give you any pre-warning and they just started going fucking town on your teeth, right? It's like crazy. Whoa, like relax. However, if they tell you like, okay, relax, Mr. Kendrick Lamar in the chat, right? Like relax. What's going to happen now is I'm going to apply this. There's going to be a bit of a sore feeling here because we're going to inject this. But then after that, you're not going to feel anything. It's going to be quite numb and it's going to last about 5-10 minutes. We just need to drill one tooth a little bit, then do this. Okay, you good? Let's go. All of a sudden, yeah, sure, you're still going to feel the pain and stuff, but like at least you're like, all right, fine, fucking hell. All right, it's going to be a 5-10 minutes. It's just one tooth. Okay, it's not going to be that bad. Makes sense. All right, guys. So that's why this stuff is super, super important. Now, if you don't have an onboarding process, this is the other thing that will go wrong. Clients will be expecting certain things to be done faster or / straight away, right? If you don't tell them like, hey, by the way, like it takes us this amount of time to get started. Within the first day, this is what's going to happen. Then within the first week, this is then what's going to happen and blah, blah. If you don't tell them that, I mean, they don't know any better. They're just going to think that you're a gift from God and you're going to do it straight away in day one. You're going to get everything set up and everything is going to be up and running in the first day and she's going to make $1 million, right? By the way, yes, we have Kendrick and Central C in the chat. Like this is real, by the way. Yeah, no cap. Like this is how much motion I have. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is what I'm saying. Anyway, so the next thing. Next thing is that's going to happen is it's going to be very unorganized back and forth to get access to everything, right? So if you guys don't tell them exactly like what to do, how to do it, when, where, etc., then like you'll ask for login details here. Then they're going to be confused. And then you need other login details for this thing. And then they're like, well, like 2 days ago, if you just scroll up in the chat, I already sent you the login details. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And now you're scrolling up in the DMs and you're just, it's all over the place. It's a mess. It's a fucking mess, right? Like, think about it. When somebody provides a professional service, something that is outstanding, right? The best of the best. It's always organized. It's very streamlined. There is no stress. In fact, everything is almost done for you. Like you don't even have to worry about what's the next step. They've already got it sorted. Like, hey, by the way, after you do this, I know you're going to do this. So I've already prepared this for you, right? And so on and so on. All right. So the next thing, let me just remove this. Wait, boom. The next thing is clients are going to be expecting unreasonable results within the first month. Okay. So if like, for example, you guys don't manage their expectations, they'll be thinking that you can 10x their results in the first month, right? Like it's not realistic. So they're going to be expecting crazy results in the first month. Clients are consistently going to be messaging you, calling you, expecting a response straight away. If it's like 3 a.m., they're going to call you and expect a response on like a Saturday and so on, right? That's crazy. And by the way, I'm going to teach you how to avoid all this very, very simply. And you're not going to be getting enough content from them and on time, and you have to chase them up, etc. And these are the kind of bottlenecks that most of these agency owners, they face. And I'm going to show you guys how you guys can overcome this. All right, cool. Cool. So this is how you guys can overcome this. So make sure you guys are paying close attention. All right. So here's a foolproof onboarding system, even for beginners. And I'm going to test you guys to make sure that you guys have actually paid attention and you guys have written this down. So make sure you write down each one of these. Okay, you ready? So first one is you need to welcome them into your agency, right? So welcome to the agency. Here's who I am. I'm nice. I'm not. I'm so-and-so. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the agency, blah, blah. All right. The second part is you want to set clear expectations on the communication. When can they talk to you? On which platform? How many days? So Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. That's when we can talk. Okay. Cool. Next one is the login sheet. So you need to get access to their OnlyFans accounts. And also if you're going to manage their social medias, you need to get access to all of that. What I recommend you doing is create a Google Sheets. Again, we can explain this on tomorrow's stream if you guys have questions, but you need to get access to their OnlyFans login details, right? Then you need to put a clear structure on the content, right? And by the way, in the next part, I'm literally about to explain this part exactly. So how much content, where, how often, blah, blah. But you need to explain to them about the content side of things. And then the last one is managing expectations. Is like, okay, so like, hey, look, the first month, I can't guarantee any numbers, but what I can guarantee is this is what I'll be doing on our end, okay? And then what you can do is you can record all of this with Loom, all right? So just to test you guys, what was number one? So what was the first one? So out of all of these, what was the first one? I'm going to give you guys like a little, yeah. What was the first one that we went over? Put it in the chat, guys. Okay, pretty simple, obviously, right? Welcome. Okay, cool. Now, what was number two? So after you welcome them into your agency, what's the second part that you need to do? Go ahead. Put it in the chat. Oh, Becky is on fire. Let's go, Becky. I don't know who you are, Becky, but it looks like when that questionnaire is going to be emailed over to you to win the prize, Becky's going to know. Okay, cool. What's the third one? So we got a welcome, we got communication. What's the third one? Yeah, let's go. All right, yeah, you guys actually paying attention. I love this shit. Okay, so yeah, you guys got it spot on. So communicate, so welcome, communication, login sheet, content, and then manage your expectations. Fantastic. All right, very, very good, very good. And then the way how you guys can do this is two things. It's either if you just want to create a big Google document and just write it all out, you guys can do it like that. But what I'd recommend you doing is set up this free software called Loom. And then basically what Loom does, it lets you record your entire screen and your audio and your face cam. And then you can actually talk about these. So instead of writing on a Google document like, hey, welcome to the agency, it's actually you saying it like, hey, welcome to the agency. I'm super happy to have you here. Like, we are simply just the best. I can't wait to welcome you to the business or to the agency. I can't wait to deliver incredible results. Make sure you pay attention to this video as I'm going to explain to you the next steps. Right, and then you explain the next steps, which is the communication, the login sheet, the content, the managing expectations. So now, although this might seem simple to some of you guys, now all of a sudden, you guys know what to do when you sign on a new client, right? Cool. And this is the best part, right, about this business model, because once you do it correctly, you can get clients that stay in with you for months. So this is one of our students where, as you can see, look, every single month, this client was paying him tens of thousands of dollars. 34, 46, 46, 46, 47, 49, $51,000 every single month, which is just amazing. So cool. So that's step 3 done. All right. Now let's move on to the heavy hitting one. So now that you've got started, now that you've onboarded the client, okay, this is now when you actually provide a service. So this is where most people think they will mess up or get overwhelmed with what to actually do once you sign a client. However, it could not be more simpler. And I'll explain how you can guarantee to help any client you sign on make more money. All right. So the main reason as to why OnlyFans creators aren't making as much money as possible is down to 3 simple to fix issues. Okay. So the first one is they don't have a plan or a structure for content. They just simply are trying to figure it out by themselves. It's the same as all of you guys just trying to figure it out, right? So if you're going to try and build your own agency by yourself, you're kind of just left in the dark. Like, okay, yeah, this stuff kind of makes sense. Like, okay, Marcus kind of explained it and it kind of makes sense, but there's still so much to know, right? And if you're going to try and do it by yourself, well, good luck, I guess, right? So they don't have a plan. They don't have a structure. Again, it's the same as going to the gym. Sure, you can physically go to the gym by yourself, but if you had a personal trainer motivating you and telling you exactly how to work out, exactly how many exercises, exactly what to eat, how many times per week, it's going to be so much easier, right? The next one is they don't have enough time to do everything. So again, if you guys saw yesterday's episode, I shared with you guys all of the different things that the client has to do, right? Like, for example, look, all of these different things that the client has to focus on. There's so much stuff going on, right? And then third one is this one here. So they aren't able to get back to all the fans' messages, right? They have to do all these different things and reply to the messages. Like, it's just impossible, right? So it'll be your job to help them fix those. And here's how, in a very, very simple way. Number one, they don't have the plan and structure, right? So I'm going to explain each one of these 3. So I'm going to explain each one by one. So let's start with number one first, right? Which is they don't have they don't have a plan or a structure. Okay. So let me give you an easy example to illustrate just how this one solution is going to skyrocket your clients' earnings. Okay. So say you're starting to go to the gym. I always use the gym analogy because, like, for example, even here, like nearly everybody goes to the gym. So it's very easy for people to understand. Okay. So say you're starting to go to the gym and you'd like to lose weight. What would get you yourself results faster? Going to the gym twice a week or once every single day, right? Like, think about it. Like, is it that to get buff or lose weight? What would be easier? If you just go twice a week or once every single day consistently? Of course, if you do it once every single day consistently, right? Obviously. So most OnlyFans creators, well, they're only posting about 2 times a week, right? On social media. So by just simply you coming on and helping them stay consistent with content and helping them with an upload schedule of just once a day consistently will dramatically increase their followers, which will then increase the amount of people that are coming over to their OnlyFans account. So if we're just using the example of your clients previously posting an average of 2 posts per week, that would be 8 posts a month, right? If you simply just help them with content ideas, and perhaps you do some editing if you need to as well, you're now able to help your client do 30 posts per month. So before you, they were doing 8 posts a month. With your help, they're now doing 30 posts a month, right? Just to illustrate a very, very simple example. And assuming, by the way, your client gets the same amount of views, same followers as she was when she was doing 8, per month. If she gets the same amount of likes, views, and followers as that, but now she's doing 30 posts, so you times that, right? That means you have already increased that income by 275% with just this one simple increase. Now, again, this might seem like super fucking simple, right, to some of you guys, but I'm not shitting you. Just that alone can genuinely increase a creator's income by 275%. Isn't that insane? And like, that's the other thing as well. Like, you know how like these musicians, these rappers, these movie stars, like these athletes, they all have a manager, right? It's the same thing. Like physically, can the musician, can the rapper, can the athlete, can the movie star, can they physically do it all by themselves? I mean, yeah, sure. It's just click this, click that, stay focused, have this and that. But if you just simply come on board and you keep them, you keep them accountable, you put a plan together and you help them stay consistent, all of a sudden you've increased their earnings already by 275%, right? Like I know some of you guys, well, that's insane, but I swear, right? Cool. Number 2, so the second one is they don't have enough time to do everything, right? So you guys saw yesterday's live stream. This is the amount of different things that the client has to do by herself, right? She has to think of the content. She has to edit it, film it, post it, reply to messages, so on and so on, right? So it is your job to try and take as many of those tasks from your hands, from your client's hands, therefore easing them with the time, right? So that being said, here are some very quick and simple things that you can do for your client. So number 1, you can research viral content ideas. So you can sit on TikTok and find viral videos that are going viral for other clients, take ideas, send those ideas for your client, and then she then has to just wake up, look at the 10 different ideas that you've sent her, and she just has to create them. Super simple. Because a lot of the time, the most time-consuming thing isn't necessarily actually filming the video. It's more about just coming up with the idea, right? You know what I mean? So the second thing is plan social media content, right? So you can have viral ideas, but then you can also plan social media content. So you can plan the stories, you can plan the reels, you can plan organized collaborations, and you can plan all of this stuff for your clients. And as you can see, by the way, so far, there's not a lot of like practical, like looking at the data, analytical data on Instagram and how many clicks are going here. Like it's none of this stuff, crazy stuff that a lot of people are thinking. It's literally just helping them save a bit of time with doing some research and helping them stay consistent. It is honestly that simple, right? The third one is organizing collaborations, as I just mentioned. So it would be your job to reach out to other OnlyFans creators and say, hey, would you be down to do a shout out? Or how much is it for a collaboration? Maybe if they live physically close to each other, they can do Instagram videos together and so on, right? And you save them time. Number 4, if you want to, you don't have to, but you could also edit and post the content for them on social media. Now, you definitely don't have to. This is one of the biggest misconceptions, by the way. A lot of people are like thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to like, yeah, I'm gonna have to like edit and post all the content and all social medias for all of these girls. There's going to be so many things going on. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle it. You don't have to do that. Like, you don't. For most people, all they do is actually give ideas and do collaborations, but they don't actually do the editing and the posting for the client themselves. Okay. Cool, guys. Just so we can have a bit of a understanding here, put a 1 in the chat if this is making sense so far. All right, because this right here, for a lot of people, how to actually do the management service, like how do you actually, like once you've signed a client, what do you do for them? This is the part that most people are a little bit worried about. All right, so 1 in the chat if this is making sense already. Okay, there's a whole lot of fucking ones. That's what we like to see. So we like to see, boys. All right. All right, cool. So then, number 3, they aren't able to get back to all of the fans' messages. Okay, so if you didn't already know, by the way, most of the money is actually generated in the messages on OnlyFans, where the fan can tip money and buy new exclusive content from the model that he couldn't find anywhere else. So to paint a picture, this is one of our clients. I shared this with you guys yesterday. So she went from $1,800 in the messages to this month that just went in January to $66,300 in messages. Okay. Yeah, pretty cool stuff, right? Yeah, most OnlyFans models accounts, they actually look like this. Like most OnlyFans models, they're just like this, right? Yeah, by the way, it's been an hour already. This is crazy. Same here, by the way, Kayak. Sorry, Kayak, I think. Yeah, I don't know how it's been an hour already, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. Cool. So how do we do that? How do we achieve this? So because there's simply not enough hours in a day to answer all of the messages from all the fans. But not only that, they also still have to focus on all the other different tasks that I've shown there before, right? Or if they're doing it by themselves. So this is where you come in, and you have 2 main solutions, right? On how you can help your client respond to all the messages. Well, number 1, you can hire a team to help actually respond to all of the hundreds of messages. So we're going to go over that on the next step in just a second. And then the next one is utilizing the power of AI. This is something that's new, and there's like a lot of hype going around AI. But there's a lot of softwares, for example, Inflow is one of them, where you're able to connect your OnlyFans account to it, and then AI will genuinely pre-write messages for you, which is pretty crazy stuff. I wouldn't say it's like the best thing so far. It's definitely not, but it's there, and it's improving. And you guys know how quickly AI is improving and learning and adapting, right? So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So that's like kind of the 2 very, very simple stuff, 2 things that you can do. And by the way, whilst we're talking about hiring a team, that leads us over to the last and final step, right? So for example, if we go up here, this for me personally is my favorite stuff, by the way. Like for me, this is really where you get that time and location freedom. And yeah, same as what I say right here. This is truly where you start to get that ultimate freedom for not only financial, but more importantly, location and time freedom. Because if you execute what I'm about to show you correctly, your life will change forever for the better, right? The best part is it's all free and beginner friendly to hire staff members to your business. And what do I mean by free and beginner friendly, right? So let me explain. So free, because you'll only hire people once you're making money from your clients, so their invoices are paying the staff members. Okay, so think about it. You're not gonna, unlike e-commerce, where in e-commerce you have to spend money upfront and then hope for the best that the ads will actually work and they'll convert and people will buy your product and then maybe you make some money back. It's not like that. With this, you first do the outreach by yourself, you sign on clients, and then once you sign on a client, they will then start paying you invoices. And with those invoices, you then hire people and then you pay them. None of this comes out of your own pocket, which is absolutely insane. Does that make sense? And then what do I mean by beginner friendly? Well, beginner friendly because you don't need an office. Like I think when a lot of people think about like staff members and hiring staff and building a team, etc., I think a lot of people are thinking about like having a massive physical office or something corporate, or having to have people in the same country as you, etc. No, the crazy part is that you can literally find people online from places like Facebook groups or in my private community, right? I'm going to be launching a free private community soon here as well. They would love to work with you, right? And you can genuinely find these people from all around the world. And they don't have to be in the same country as you, in the same city as you. They don't have to be in an office as you. And they're also It's just like you. They're probably the same age. They probably listen to the same music as you, right? So when people are saying like staff members and building a team and managing people, for people who are brand new to business, I don't want you to get overwhelmed with the idea of, holy fuck, this is going to be scary, because it's actually a lot simpler, all right? And when it comes to building out your dream team, guys, please pay attention, because this right here is it. This is the fucking gravy, right? This is literally how you can have your team built out. And once you have this, it's about as passive as it will get. So you can have what's called a model scout, who's going to be in charge of sending out messages and trying to sign clients for you. So you see what I went over with you guys on step 2 on outreach? Well, now, once you've done it yourself and you understand how it works, you will then teach this stuff to your model scout. And now all of a sudden, you have a virtual assistant who's logged in and sending messages to potential clients and trying to set meetings up with you and the client or potential client, right? So all of a sudden, you could wake up and you have 2 or 3 calls booked in, and you personally have done none of the work. You just have simply set somebody up, and all of a sudden, they're doing the outreach for you, right? Cool. The next one is a relationship manager. So what do we mean by a relationship manager? So a relationship manager is somebody who actually is the in-between the model and all of the other staff members, right? So let's just say this is the model in the middle. The relationship manager will talk to the guys who are helping there with the chatting and the messages, with the Instagram guy, with the Reddit guy, with the Twitter guy, with yourself. So all of a sudden, you don't have to talk to loads and loads of different people. You are just talking to this guy right here, which is the relationship manager, all right? Then the relationship manager would manage the marketing manager, right? Which is, it might sound like, holy shit, this is getting pretty big. But again, you only need this. By the way, again, I should have prefaced this. You only need this if and when you have like 3, 4, 5, 6 clients. You definitely are not going to start with this. This is not for beginners. Like, only once you get a bunch of clients and you're probably making like $6, $7, maybe $10,000 a month, only then you're going to start to hire people and you're going to start to build your team out. Okay. But all of a sudden, you have this guy who fucking saves you 3, 4 hours a day from having to do DMs and trying to do outreach. You have this guy who saves you about 6 hours a day from having to talk to the model, then to the marketing guy, back to the model, then to the model, to the chatting team, then back to the model. And then you see what I mean? And then you have this guy who's doing all of the marketing for you. Like, this is exactly how my team is set up, and it's so fucking amazing. And then, of course, you have the chatting team manager. And then the chatting team manager just manages 3 chatters, right? For very simple sake. You can then, of course, branch this out and you can have another chatting team manager with 3 more chatters and so on and so on, right? But to keep it super, super simple, I swear this is how simple the business can be. And once you just have these staff members, your business is pretty much automated. This is exactly how my business is set up. I have a guy who sets appointments for me. I don't even have to do any of that. I have a guy who manages all of my current models and does the conversation between the clients and all of the other relating departments. So the marketing managers, the Twitter guy, the Reddit guy, the Instagram guy, etc., the TikTok guy. Then he talks to the chatting team manager to make sure that everything is on point here. Maybe if there's some sort of campaign coming up or she's going live, so the chatters have to stop, etc. All of that is run for me. What do? I simply wake up whenever I want. Well, I wake up pretty late into the morning. I like to work till pretty late. I work till about 3 a.m., but that's just a personal preference. But then when I wake up, I have my team call with my team for about 1 hour, and I'm mainly just talking to this guy right here because he's the middle of everything. I mainly speak to him. Hey, bro, give me an update from yesterday. Hey, bro, so yeah, yesterday I done this. I spoke to this client. This went forward. This and this is in place. Cool. And then I simply, if I can think of anything on the spot, I'm like, all right, cool. How about we do this campaign for this client? This one needs to move over to here. And I simply just give him about 5, 10 things to do. He writes them all down, and then I just forget about it for the rest of the day. Of course, like I still check in with the team. I'm still on WhatsApp, etc. But if I really wanted to, I could take a week, I could take a month off, and I could go on holiday, and the whole business is still running. Me personally, I'm addicted to this stuff. I love business and I love making money. So I don't want to take like a whole month off. But if I really needed to, I really could. All right. And that's step 5 complete. So these are the 5 steps that you guys need to implement in order to get started, the foundation, in order to do outreach and sign your first client. Number 3, on how to do onboarding. So how to get them set up with your agency. Number 4, how do you actually do the management? So the marketing and the sales. then how do you automate it and actually go ahead and get staff members onto your business? So what I've just shown you so far is the 5 simple step foundation that you need to not only get your first client, but also your first $7,000 in 30 days with OFM. Now, for those of you who want to make more, I got something in store for you guys on tomorrow's live stream. Tomorrow's live stream, I'll go over the crucial steps and systems you must have in place in order to get results like some of our students, some of our top performing students. And just to give you guys a bit of context here, if my team, if you guys could put my camera as the big screen here, just to give you guys a bit of context here, this is the same with anything in life, in like sports, like in any athletes, right? In music, in actors, definitely in business, in school, in university, in college, anything. You know how there's always that top kind of 1 to top 5% who are getting dramatically way better results than the rest of the 95% of people, right? I've studied this so fucking hard. That sounds like a Luke Belmar quote, right? But I've genuinely studied this so hard. Out of hundreds, and if not, no, definitely over 1,000 agency owners that I've mentored and coached, I've figured out, okay, what sets them aside from the 99% of people. And I've genuinely got this down to the most simple steps that anybody can follow. And if you just pay attention to what I'll be teaching you guys tomorrow, on tomorrow's live stream, same time tomorrow, you guys can avoid the biggest fucking pitfalls. And you can not be like the 99% of people who realistically, they might try it, they put in a bit of fucking effort, or they even try their hardest, but they still make the mistakes that I'm going to be telling you guys about tomorrow, how to avoid them. That's the key. Because right now, some of you guys are probably pumped up. Some of you guys are probably thinking, okay, this is making sense. Holy fuck, the 5 steps, this is actually pretty simple. Bro, I think I could do it. But what you're failing to understand is that it is not as easy as you might think, right? There's a big difference between simple and easy. I think simple, in my opinion, is something that is very, simple to understand, right? Like even a fucking kid could see something that like is simple and is like, oh yeah, I get it. Like that's easy, cool. Kick a ball, it's football. I get it. But it's not easy when you start to get into the more behind the scenes on how things actually work. Okay. And tomorrow's lesson, I'm going to be teaching you guys exactly what is the difference. And if we go back to the screen right here, so tomorrow's lesson, I'll be teaching you guys how some of our students are getting results like this. Now, this was, as you guys can see again, this was the 2nd of February, by the way. So this is literally, a couple of days ago, right? I said, hey, everybody, how was your first month? $300,000 from one of our students. $30,000 for another one of our students. Here's another one, $167.4 thousand in a week, by the way. Here's another one of our students, $542,000 this month. So that is what we'll be going over on tomorrow's episode. First things first, congratulations to all of you guys for sticking through with me for these 3 days. Like, genuinely, like all of you guys are here for a reason, right? There's a reason why you guys have stuck with me throughout the entire 3 days, whereas most people haven't, right? Because you have that motivation and feeling inside you that you want more in life. So for those of you who were here in the first episode, just remember, like, the point I was trying to make is that this isn't for everybody. Yes, this business model, OFM, some people like, it's very controversial. Some people don't like it. Some people don't care, whatever. The point of this is that it's for those of you who have that burning desire where you're just like, fuck, surely life isn't like this. Surely life is not meant to be like this. Surely I'm meant to be able to do what I want, when I want, and actually achieve the things that you want. And at least for me, I always knew that in my 9 to 5, it's physically fucking impossible. I would have to save so many years of my income to be able to just afford one of my dream watches or a car that I now own. Like, that just didn't make sense. Physically, that was not going to be possible. And I had to change something. And then when I was looking online on these different business models, none of them really, I mean, I tried them. I tried SMA, I tried ecom, I tried Etsy selling iPhone cases, I tried a bit of crypto and trading, but like none of it fucking worked. And this is finally what changed my life for the absolute better. And you guys, I'm a testament to it because you guys can go on my social medias, my YouTube, you can scroll for literally years of my content. And you can't make this stuff up. So for those of you who have come this far, make sure you stay right till the end of this episode for all of this to make even more sense And also, more importantly, at the end of this, you all will have actionable steps that you can again write down. Also, I appreciate a lot of you guys have been sending me pictures on Instagram of like a full notepad of notes from the last 2 episodes. And at the end of this one, we'll give you some actionable steps that you need to take in order to do that. So again, just to really quickly recap yesterday's episode, for some of you guys who didn't see it, we went over the 5-step blueprint that you all need to implement in order to start and get your first couple clients, and just a bigger picture on how this will work, right? So step 1 was setting the foundation, so how you can get started. However, remember also, for some of you guys who were, or hopefully most of you guys who were here from yesterday's episode, also, put a yes in the chat if you guys were here from yesterday. So put a yes in the chat if you guys were here yesterday. Because if you guys were here yesterday, at the very end, I made a very interesting point, and it's super important. There's a big difference, and this is with OFM, this is with university, this is with school, college, anything in life. Out of 100%, there's always that 1% that just stand out. They get way better results than anybody else, and there's that 99% who kind of get average or if not piss poor results, right? And I've really paid a close attention to that 1%. What makes them different? Like, okay, I'm giving the same coaching, but like, why does this 1% of people get exponentially better results? And here's the mistakes that they avoid, right? So the mistake that they avoid on step 1, which is the foundation, which is what the 99% do, is they forget the basics, like on what actually matters the most. Like a lot of people just waste time on like the little colors on their logo or editing the cool video for your Instagram or this and that. None of that matters, right? The 1%, they simply listen to what I actually tell them to do, they implement it, and they start straight away. And then the second part was outreach, right? So how do you actually get your first client? Most people make the mistake of not having the correct guidance on how to even actually sign their first client. And then because they don't have the correct guidance, they feel lost and unmotivated after sending a few messages and they don't have a client signed. So they're like, well, what am I doing here? Or also having that imposter syndrome, right? I saw a couple of questions on yesterday's episode. A lot of guys were like, okay, Marcus, like, how do I overcome this imposter syndrome? For some of you guys who don't know what that is, imposter syndrome is basically where you feel the inadequacy or you don't feel comfortable enough to do something. When you're doing it for the first time, hey, fuck, me doing this live stream, I don't know, like this is now day 3, so I feel a bit better. But still, like, I'm not a professional live streamer. Like, I don't know, bro. This is still a rodeo for me, you know. I kind of don't feel that comfortable, but I'm getting better. And it's the same thing with OFM. If you're doing it all by yourself, you don't have anybody to talk to, you don't have anybody to give you that guidance, you're going to feel a bit like, oh, shit, I don't know if I can actually do this. And then step number 3 was onboarding, right? So once you've done all of that hard work, you've set everything up, you've done the outreach, you've got your first client, what do you do then? And the mistake that 99% of people do is, you know, they're worried about all of this hard work that they've done with the setup, signing the client, for then just to do something wrong, right? Or maybe they miss something very important, and maybe they were just simply unaware, and they end up losing that client that they worked so hard to get. Like, imagine how annoying this would be, right? Imagine you think, okay, cool, Marcus, this makes sense. I'm going to try and give it a shot, etc. You've worked super hard and you finally get your first client, but then you don't have anybody to ask questions, and you simply then just try it by yourself and you mess it up because, well, without clear guidance, you probably will. Kind of the same as going to the gym. If you don't have any guidance, you might injure yourself, like genuinely, right? It's a similar thing. Or worse, if you don't manage their expectations and pre-warn them by saying, hey, okay, now that you're on our agency, welcome, here are the next steps. But of course, if you're starting out by yourself, how are you meant to know what are the next steps? And how are you meant to manage your clients' expectations to be like, oh yeah, the first month is going to go something like this when you don't even know, right? Like, how is that meant to happen? And then number 4 is the actual service delivery, right? So this is really when we get to bring in incredible results, like genuinely results for your clients that even they can't believe. They're like, where have you been my entire life, you know? But the mistake that people do is, well, service delivery seems straightforward by helping them with content ideas and schedule content, right? Like, so for example, on yesterday's episode, my job is to try and make things as simple as possible for you guys, right? And hopefully you guys understand that, okay, when I get a client, what I'll have to do is kind of help them with content ideas, perhaps maybe a little bit of editing, but mainly just help them structure the content and then maybe some sales in the back end with the chatting and so on. And it seems very simple, but what does that actually mean? Okay, how many posts? When? Which platforms? Do I manage all of them, or do I just manage 1 or 2? Do I change anything? Where do I get the content ideas? And so on, right? And if you're doing it by yourself, you're going to be left in the dark. And imagine instead, right? You had the industry leading systems and tactics within OFM on exactly how the top 1% agency owners in the world run their business and make their millions online. And by the way, the special guest that I'm about to bring on later on into this presentation, you guys get to see him and his results. He's one of them, right? Imagine being able to learn from somebody like me and him and so many other people who are the best of the fucking best. Like imagine you're trying to, I don't know, get better at basketball or something. And then you're all of a sudden in the LA Lakers or something. And you have the best coaches, the best mentors, the best teammates. And you're obviously going to get better a lot quicker, right? And then number 5, this is what went over yesterday, is the scaling, right? So how do we then scale? And what does that even mean, right? And the problem that a lot of people have and the mistake that they make is they hire the wrong people, either the wrong people at the wrong time, they pay them too much or too little. And just in general, your team is only going to be as good as the worst person in your team. Let me say that one more time. And please remember this, right? Your business is only going to be as good as the worst person on your team. And unfortunately, a lot of people, what they do is they'll just hire anybody, right? Because again, they don't have the guidance. They may be trying to cut costs, and they maybe hire somebody from a third world country or something like this. And there's a language barrier and so on. And you fuck it up, right? Because imagine if you hire the wrong people, you pay them too much, they do a terrible job, and they lose your clients for you. And then all of a sudden you have to start over. And you can avoid all of these mistakes and more by paying close attention to today's live stream. And we're about to get into so much value, guys. And you guys can have the best possible start for your agency, right? Because remember, the size of the opportunity that you guys have here. And again, just a quick reminder that we went over this in the first live stream for some of you guys who missed it. Right now, if you guys go on Google, well, not right now, but after the live stream, if you wanted to, but you guys should have seen it after the first episode, right? If you go on Google and you search how many OnlyFans creators out there right now, there are 4.1 million active creators right now. And well, all you guys really need is 1 or 2 clients signed for your agency at 50%, and you're able to quit your 9 to 5. For those of you who are early and you were watching the live stream before I actually went live, you heard Robson. Robson also is a very, very similar story to probably most of you guys. From the UK, just wanted to make enough money to quit his job and was trying a bunch of different business models, didn't really work out. Started with OFM, just got a couple clients, and he's making over 10K. I think over 15K now, which is incredible. And if you guys had the same knowledge as me, you'd be able to start an agency within your first 2 months of business and be on a run rate of 200,000 a month. Again, I've shown you guys the screenshot before. This is a new agency that I've started specifically for you guys, and then I can show you guys in the behind the scenes a bit more how that works, right? The best part is that it is not just me that's been able to get these kinds of numbers, right? It'd be great if, or no, it wouldn't be great if I was just sitting there saying like, oh yeah, me, I'm very special. I have had all the support and I'm this guy and da-da-da. No, it's not just me. You know, with my knowledge, I'm able to teach you guys exactly how to do it because I've been doing it for close to 5 fucking years now. I started this stuff in 2020. And no, I haven't been talking about it publicly since then because, I mean, it was a fucking goldmine and it still is. But take Louis, for example. He found me through Instagram. And at the time, he was working as an apprentice and he was only making £6.70 an hour. And by the way, put a yes in the chat, by the way, if you guys are currently working a 9 to 5 or just full-time employment, part-time, just to kind of get a bit of an understanding. But I mean, that was Louis. I also had an apprenticeship. I worked in a warehouse. I didn't even get £6.70. I think I got like £4. And I was literally just working in a warehouse as an apprentice, you know? And Louis simply just listened to me, right? I taught Louis exactly what is OnlyFans management, how it works. And he just simply paid close attention to what I was saying and implemented it all and worked very, very hard. Now Louis makes $5,700 in just 5 days. That's the screenshot right here. So within 5 days, that's about a run rate of well over $30,000 a month with his brand new agency, right? And take Juan for an example, right? Juan started in January last year. So now it's been just over a year, which I don't know how the time has gone by like this. But Juan, you know, he tried dropshipping. He tried software company. He tried to start an appointment setting company. He was just trying to do all these different things. And maybe you are the same. Maybe you've tried a bunch of different things or you're thinking about trying a bunch of different things, right? But I'm telling you now that based on these guys' stories and myself, this is by far the best thing that you could do. Like, you don't need to waste your time trying with these other business models, right? Which is funny, by the way, because Juan now makes well over $34,400 a month with his agency. I think, matter of fact, in January that just went, he actually just crossed over $40,000. Again, this is his inflow. And what's incredible as well is my student Jack. And we actually have Jack live, by the way, my team. If you guys could bring Jack in. I wanted to bring Jack live, right? Because it's all good and well, again, like me showing you guys all these screenshots, etc. But I wanted you guys to hear it live from somebody who's been through my program, learned from scratch, and is now making insane numbers. So, Jack, how are you, bro?
I'm not too bad, thank you, Marcus. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, very well, very well. So I can hear Jack, by the way, completely fine. I think you guys can hear him as well. Put a yes in the chat if you guys can hear Jack. But Jack, thank you for taking the time out of your day, by the way. I know you've just landed recently. You're in Thailand?
Yes, that's right. It's about 3 a.m.
Awesome. So we've got a couple of questions for Jack. We're just going to quickly fly through them. And I want you guys to hear it from him, a live person who's been through all of this. So, I mean, Jack, just for the people here, what were you doing before OFM, just to give people a bit of context?
Yeah, I mean, so before OFM, I used to work in bars. I became a bar manager, and then I quit it all, and I started doing social media management. And then I quickly realized that I was making okay money, but I wanted to move on to something that was going to make me good money. And that's when I stumbled onto OFM.
And do you mind me asking, like, roughly, just again, to give a bit of context, like, how much were you making, like, working at the bar and things like that? Probably an average normal wage?
Yeah, around £2,000 per month.
Cool,
so it was
right.
good. It was okay. It was sustainable, but there was nothing to add on top of that. It was dead end, there wasn't anywhere to go from there.
Sure. And I asked that, by the way, because I'm just trying to paint the picture here that, like, Jack is not also some Elon Musk, like some like prodigy, right? He's just same as me. Like, we just stumbled across this gold mine. And again, just to paint a massive contrast. So that's when you started around 2K a month. And then how much does your agency make a month right now?
It's currently, so over the new year, we crossed into the $1 million per month in revenue. And then since then, we're still scaling, but yeah.
Cool. So yeah, my team has just brought up your screen here. So yeah, by the way, this is if Jack, if you wanted to click around and just show the people. So there are two different inflows, by the way, as Jack is moving them around. And this is so let's just have a look. So this is per month.
Yeah, so this was the month of December. This was my best month in the last like 3 months. If I go last 30, you guys can see here. Gosh, not as great, but we move. It's not too much of a difference. Like in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty small. But over the past year, keep in mind, it's been almost 2 years now I've been working with you. We've crossed the 10 mil mark in revenue, which is insane.
Bro, like I'm genuinely, I'm gonna get fucking emotional. Like, this is like, Jack is also a testament to just hardworking, staying persistent. 2 years, by the way. And these are the insane amount of numbers that you guys can generate. Of course, it doesn't happen within the first month. But if you just stay consistent, there's nothing stopping you guys from doing this as well. So cool. If the team wants to, get rid of that. But Jack, again, thank you so much for your time. And just, I guess, lastly, again, to give a bit of context for people, like, whenabouts did you find me? And then how's the coaching been?
Yeah, so I started working with you in July 2023. So it's been a little while now since the start of the journey. But yeah, I cannot thank you enough, honestly. Every piece of advice you've ever given me, even going forward, I trust every piece of advice that you've put my way, and it's helped me. And yeah,
you're a legend.
That's all I really have to say. Anybody here, Marcus is the man.
You're a legend.
He studied.
Thank you so much. All right, Jack, I'm going to love you and leave you, brother. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day as well. Thank you, brother. And yeah, somebody in the chat was like, Jack is not fucking around. I love that. So again, I just wanted to bring in a live person, and you guys can see with yourself, like, the numbers that you can attain. And again, look, I need to preface this again. Obviously, within the first couple of months, you're not going to be doing like Jack's numbers, like 7 million a year, right? But the point is that it is possible. It is possible with no prior experience, no prior marketing experience, no prior business experience. If you just have the right guidance with somebody like myself that can point you in the right direction, but then more importantly, a community of like-minded people that are pushing you, motivating each other, then, well, what's stopping you, right?
So congratulations, you've actually watched to the very, very end of this video. Most people haven't, so you're already very, very special few. Now, I have a very, very exclusive invite for yourself. So because you've watched this video all the way through, if you wanted to get further help, there's a free community and then also a chance to jump on a call with me and my team to then further potentially invest into my coaching. If that is of interest, check out the first link down below and also the pinned comment, and hopefully I get to speak to you very soon.